Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Loncar.
What
All
up?
right, guys, is it about that time?
It's about that time.
Oh my God!
Welcome.
Justin Kelly, Michael Loncar.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure to see you, my friend.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We were just saying it's been too long since the two of us have been in the booth. It's good to see you guys.
That's what you guys said. It was too long. You guys
right.
told us that. So
right.
you wanted us back. So you got us. Super excited. What do we got going on tonight? A little 5-5?
Yes, a little 5-5 no limit. As always, super deep stacked games running here. Game started off with a $1,000 buy-in, and now everyone at the table can buy in for the biggest stack at the table. So lots of creative bluffing for sure to happen soon. So stay tuned.
No, absolutely. And you know, I feel more spoiled here because I just got back from Chicago and I went and played at a couple of spots down there.
2-5, 500.
Yeah. So yeah, some 1-2, some 2-5. 2-5 was totally capped at 500.
Yeah.
And the rake was huge. Even the rake on like the 1-2 game was like $7 or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's funny because I look at it, I'm like, none of you are, even if you cash out, none of you are beating this table.
No.
No. So I absolutely, again, it was like, I miss home. I miss home. I
Give
miss
me home to the deep
Stones.
stacked gravy games here. At
Oh my
Stones.
God. Speaking of homes, let's walk down around the homely table we have there. Let's see who we got. Let's check it out. Let me get logged in here so we can chat with you guys. Let's see here. Assuming I can spell. Let's start out. We got Sarah dealing seat 0. Nobody gives Sarah some lip.
What
Hey,
up?
there she is. All right, so let's work out seat 1, Andrew.
Yes.
You familiar with Andrew at all?
I do not know Andrew.
I do not know Andrew either, but obviously if he's hopping in this game with players like Harlan and everybody else, he's probably played before.
Yep.
So right on, so I can't really say how much he's sitting on there. Looks like a couple stacks of red, pretty solid. Seat 2, who do we got? Orlando, also a new player to me.
I've played Orlando quite a bit. He's
cool.
Definitely a solid player, good player. Can mix it up for sure. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Gears on gears. Oh, Dave Crick coming at it with probably one of the best profile pictures I've seen right there. I mean, you really can't.
The Western, I love it.
Can't compete with
I
that.
love it.
That's the guy you look at and you're like, nice outfit, and he's just like, I own an oil field. Like, I could buy and sell your entire family tree. I like it. Looks like he's doing pretty good. He's probably got 1,500 in front of him, something like that.
Yep.
Peter K.
Peter.
Our notorious, I think we have the whole salad is plus EV thing because of Peter. Like,
Just always
Peter
eating
is,
salad.
Peter's great, super good guy.
Yep.
You're relatively snug, but definitely not afraid to mix it up as well.
Yep.
And the funny thing is he has that snug image, so when he does mix it up,
He gets
people,
away with it.
Yeah, people are like,
Yeah.
oh no, Peter's betting, he's raising you, he's got you, you know? So,
Yep.
dude, definitely love Peter. And then next to him, David O, you might notice him. What was our big tournament he just went super deep in? He went super deep in one of the Stones Fall Classic tournaments, I believe.
Okay. Nice.
And made a super killing. So yeah, he's definitely no slouch there. Definitely taking those winnings and putting him right back in the poker community, which we like to see.
That's right.
Now to his left, Porter. Again, a contender for Best Picture.
That's pretty sweet.
Porter popped on the stream one day and just never left. Porter loves playing on the stream. He definitely loves playing any table Harlan's at because those two go at it. Porter's just a super good dude, and if we took away the beard, you'd never recognize Porter in a million years. He's the only beard that makes Jake jealous.
That's awesome. That's one heck of a beard.
I love it. And then we have Ian. Have you played with Ian before?
I have not. I did not know Ian.
Yeah, it looks like we had to barely capture him for a picture. He's like, fine, I'll take a picture, I'll play on the stream. well, I guess we'll get to know Ian here over the next couple hours with you guys. And the next man really needs no introduction, but we'll give him one anyways. It's Harlan. Any guy with a profile pic like that, I think he's played. I think he's won a few pots. That was the bomb pot heard around the world right there for like 13 grand. Wins it with one pair. We love Harlan. He's one of the few players who has his own command in the chat. You know, gotta love it. And last but certainly not least, we got JP. Have you played with JP before? He looks familiar.
Yes, I have. Yeah, definitely played with JP. Yeah, he'll definitely mix it up, and this is gonna be a good game. A lot of loose players here in this one, so this should be a good one.
Loosey goosey. Now I know that our booth guys told me that this first hand actually takes a little bit here, so we have a little bit more time. But yeah, super excited. What do we got coming up? Sunday, October 22nd. It's gonna be next week.
Thank you.
Look at that. She just gives me money. She thinks I'm gonna hand it to you. I really shouldn't. But Sunday, October 22nd, guys, we have the Western Senior Poker Series coming up.
Yes.
That's a $250 buy-in, 30-minute levels, $15K in chips. Ages 50 plus are eligible for this event. The final table, we will be doing a live stream on that. And there we go. The WSPS will award a cruise on the 2018 Card Player Poker Cruise to the series champion.
No, that's awesome.
Have you been on a poker cruise
I've never been on a poker cruise.
Did you totally want to? I totally want to.
You
right?
haven't either.
No, I haven't. And I'm thinking, I can't decide whether I want to go on like a poker cruise or there'll be more fish on just a regular cruise with like an active poker room.
I was gonna say I've been on a regular poker
Right.
cruise with like the automated table, like the electronic table, and
Yeah.
it was like.
Oh, they had
best.
electronic. They had electronic
It was
table.
an electronic table.
Oh, but lots of easy money.
Oh my gosh.
They just came
I've never
in.
played in a game like that. It
Yeah.
was just like everyone's
That-
all in every hand, everyone's going crazy and drinking, and
Now you're making
no
me.
one knows how to play.
Now you're making me second guess myself if I like regular cruise or poker cruise.
If you could find a regular cruise with an automated table, go there.
So it's those electronic
That's the way to
ones,
go,
right?
yeah,
Because you get a lot of new people sitting down who's like,
Players that literally barely even know the rules.
oh, I have no idea.
No.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But they got money to burn because they're on a cruise and it's vacation time. so
Oh my God.
it's
They're
great.
like, well, with those alcoholic drinks being $12 a whack on the cruise, I might as well.
What's 400 on a poker game?
Yeah, what's a big deal? That's
So, yeah.
awesome. And the other stuff we got going on,
Yes.
100K guaranteed tournament series coming up. There's one big tournament here.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day tournament with multiple flights. It's 100K guaranteed, only $120 buy-in, and then the flights actually go up from there.
Yeah, and then in this tournament, every single time you double qualify and make the date 2 more than once, you get $900 cash each time, and you get to take your biggest chip stack in, I believe. So
That's pretty bad. That's pretty
pretty
sweet.
sweet.
If you I mean, think about it. If you actually buy in for 120 on the first couple days and you cash both those days, 120 to 900 for a min cash, and then you're free rolling more from there.
Yep.
I'll take that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, there you go. Just checking out the chat, guys. What's going on? Rick and Barstow, Angry Polak, Jenna Liz subbing in for a little JFK Stones here, too, in the pink. Hello, my friends. Right on. You can see we talked about Harlan's command a little bit earlier. It is in there if you want to watch Harlan drag down that absolutely ridiculous pot of cash we were talking about. Yeah, looking forward to it, actually. I was doing the math because I've been out of town and traveling a little bit. I haven't seen, I'm like, oh yeah, when am I next on the schedule? And then I was like, cool, me and you were doing it. I'm like, man, I haven't done one in actually since like Talkman. It's been a few weeks, and I'm just like, I'll tune in. I'm like, oh, there's Veronica. Oh, there's Jake. Oh, there's Loncar. And I'm just like, I want to hang out. I want to play some poker.
how was Vancouver?
Oh, it was great. Vancouver was great. Vancouver was cool. First time there.
I love it there. I lived there for a little while. I love it
Yeah,
so much.
I mean, the amount of money, it's crazy over the last 5 years. I mean, so much of this Asian money has come in there. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
It's a miniature Hong Kong now.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, I'm going down this block, normal block, nice houses, not super insane by any means. Every house on the block was like $4 to $8 million.
Yeah.
On the block, they have their Bentley SUVs, their Rolls Royce Phantoms, and I'm like, and that's what you're parking on the street.
Yeah.
Like, what's in the garage?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was a trip. It was really cool. I felt with the conversion rate, I had like a 20% off coupon anywhere I went, so that made
What
me
is the
happy.
conversion rate right now?
We were about 20% more.
Okay.
We're worth 20% more. So yeah, so if you're paying $100 there, it's about 80 US.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Okay.
so it's cool.
Okay.
Very sweet. All right, just finishing up this hand, guys. I think we'll get some live card action here going on.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw a stat, it was actually, about 5 years ago, that San Francisco and Vancouver are really neck and neck
Oh, absolutely.
for the most expensive real estate in all of North America. So
It's
I don't know how much has changed since then,
it's
but
thousands and thousands of dollars per square foot.
yeah, it's crazy.
And I'm thinking like, man, I got a smoking deal on my house at like under $100 a square foot. And I remember telling my buddy who lives in Vancouver there, and he just laughs. He's like, "You're hilarious." He's like, "That would buy you a small kitchen,
Yeah.
just by itself, and you sleep on the stove. Like, don't worry about it."
Yep.
All right, guys, on to the action. Let's do
Here
it.
we go. Start off the poker.
Rob Malt in the house.
Looks like Harlan is starting off with the $10 straddle.
I think he's flashed Jack 5 there for a sec. So guys, once again here, if you're just tuning in, maybe the first time, the chip colors, greens are 25s, reds are 5s, and whites are hundos.
Looks like Orlando starting off with an open raise to 40. Pretty standard open, 4 times the straddle. Folds around to Dave on the button. Looks like he's grabbing some calling chips. Orlando there with the raise with the ace, queen of clubs. Dave is calling.
Looks like possibly heads up.
6-3 of diamonds.
Nice, and that position. And Puerto Rico 10 jack. Jack 9 deuce, couple of hearts. Whiff City. Harlan, I believe, folded. I don't know if he's still in. We'll see.
I think it's just heads up here to the flop, and Orlando with a continuation bet of $55 should get through the power of the raised C bet. And he's going to take it down after Dave takes in a few seconds.
After Dave, we all know where Dave is pulling. All right, so I love it. Let's see here. Rick and Barso says, Patrick, what's the over-under for the time on Peter's salad? That is a good question. I even joked about that with Peter the other day. I'm like, you know, I want you to know that people win or lose money based on when you order a salad on the stream. He starts laughing. I'm like, I'm very serious. We take, hey, Peter will eat it. Peter will eat before 8:30. That's what Rob Mel says. We'll set the line at 8:30, and that's going to be our time. That's stream time, guys. So gives him about an hour and 20 minutes to get a salad out there. I think that's fair. It's a good line. It's right in the middle.
It's pretty good.
Welcome to Stones Live, where we bet on people's food orders.
We bet on everything.
Good times. That's what we do. We bet on everything. How long will it take the wait staff to clean that, whatever? Like, boom, I'm in. Give you 2 to 1 if you pick longer than 20 minutes. Did Orlando just open fold King 10 there?
I think so.
Well, maybe he knew his good old buddy David was going to come up with aces. Ah. And I mean, that's just first 2 hands. Let's talk about range. David calling a 4-bet raise with 3-6 diamonds, or 3-6 suited, and now he's got aces. So, like, good luck with putting him on a range, right?
Yeah, he's playing a lot of hands. So JP straddled for 10. And we got 3 players of the flop for $20 each. Unfortunately for Dave, can't really imagine either one of these players are going to be able to continue here. And he wins a small pot. Shows the aces. Here's our current chip stacks. As we said earlier, super deep 5-5 games here.
Now we're asking our Magic 8 Ball in the chat questions about Peter salad time. Solid.
I'm still thinking about Vancouver.
Right, I'm still thinking about that poker cruise, man. I'm just like,
I loved it up there. If I could have stayed longer, I definitely would have.
It was pretty rad. So David O here, waking up with King Jack. Hands are slightly going downhill, but not badly here.
So he opened to 20 with aces, and now it looks like he's going to be raising to 35 with King Jack offsuit. Folds around to Andrew, who's in the straddle. It gets a $10 discount. Trying to decide whether to defend here for 25 more. He decides to defend. 7-5 suited. And to the flop we go, heads up. 80 in the middle. And Andrew flops middle pair 5s.
Andrew definitely with the best of it here. He's going to check over to David, who's going to c-bet, and does Andrew believe him? I mean, you got to expect somebody to c-bet the majority of the time here. So if you maybe just want to call once or raise once and see where they're at.
Yeah, this is definitely the right player. Definitely just check call.
See where he's at. Great improvement on the turn for Andrew.
Great turn card for Andrew. Yeah. Little does he know his 5s are already the best hand. He's got the open. David checks back and spikes the king.
Oh, no.
160 in the middle. Andrew hates that river card.
He does. He doesn't know how much he hates it yet, but he does hate it.
He checks, and Dave reaches for, looks like, somewhere around $60, $70.
Now, that's definitely a different style of way that David has actually put the chips in the pot, believe it or not. I mean, did you see how he actually put his hand back and moved him in like that? That was interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting when you pay attention to really, really close details like that, like small details like that.
You know, it's funny. I was going to ask you about that. So I think I saw somewhere on social media that you're doing poker training, live one-on-one poker training.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that one of the things you cover? Is live physical tells like that?
Definitely. Yeah. People don't realize the value of really watching the table like a hawk. even when you're not in hand, I see even pros that are on their phones watching Netflix, this and that.
That's exactly what I was going to say. People with their iPads like this.
You need to be watching everyone at all times.
Yeah.
Making reads when you're not in hand. Looking, picking up on little things.
It's huge.
Yeah,
well, I mean, you have to see how other people are playing against. I mean, I'd rather get the free information of that guy betting against that guy just to watch how it all unfolds for free. And then when I'm in a pot against either of those guys, I'm like, okay, I know exactly where I'm at. You know? So yeah, that's rad. That's cool. Yeah, I think I saw on there was a testimonial from one of your customers. Yeah.
Yeah, Scott. I've been coaching him for a few months, and he just took down the $75 nightly tournament here a couple weeks ago for $2,000, and a couple days later took down the little Red Hawk tournament for $800, and he's definitely seen a massive improvement on his game.
I'll take all those little tournament wins I can. A couple grand a whack is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
Dude, so.
And on that note, I actually have a couple spots open for any of you out there that are interested in a poker coach. Send me an email to thepuresshooter@hotmail.com. I've got 2 spots left open. So it's been awesome though.
Sweet.
It's been fun watching my students progress, and it's rewarding.
Well, of course, and it's rewarding for them too when they get better results at the table, obviously.
Exactly.
You need to get like a what would Loncar do badge, like a little bracelet so they can just look at it at the table when they need it.
That's right.
All right, so Harlan here bets 35 with top pair, and JP is going to make the call with mid pair. Turn brings another club, would complete a possible flush draw, a bit of a scare card.
Both players hate this turn card. Flush gets there, it's an over card to both of their pairs on the flop. JP checks, and Harlan is going to route.
JP club check, see if that 9. He knows it's black, he doesn't think it's club, and he's going to let it go. Now that's interesting. Harlan, what did Harlan fire there?
I believe he fired somewhere around 65 or so.
Because I'm wondering if JP looks at his hand and actually sees the other one's a club, does it matter? Is he going to make that call and try to go for like the 1 club bink on, I don't know, maybe.
Definitely going to think about it for sure.
And you see that too a lot, waiting for somebody to 4-card flush out, even with a low card of that suit, because they're like, I got you. They're like, you either have it or you don't. And even if you don't, or even, I'm going to exploit it. I'm going to exploit that board.
Yeah.
Even if you have a low one that would beat mine, I'm going to make you put money in to see it. You know?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see his thought process on that turn bet if he really thought he was maybe turning his hand into a little bit of a bluff there or not.
Yeah. Once again, guys, you are watching Stones Live. Make sure you click that heart up there and follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday, spewing cash game actions for solid 3-hour chunks, unless you guys riot for overtime, which has been known to happen every now and then.
And we've got a straddle to 10. Andrew in the Ace King is raising to 75.
It's a strong raise.
With Ace King. And Dave, who raised to 20 with 9-5 offsuit, decides to defend there, a 3-bet. Queen, Queen 3. We'll see if Andrew decides a continuation bet. We should expect him to here. This is a good board to see bet.
And David defending with just garbage. But the funny thing about David is he's only defending with garbage when he's in position. And I think he's the type of guy who wants to exploit position every time.
Yeah.
He's like, and you miss it, I got you. Michael and Justin start a singing duet. We actually offer
singing a duet.
We offer separate courses on that will teach.
We actually offer
later.
Singing coaching.
It's true.
It's a classroom type setting thing we have going every Thursday night. You guys want to join us?
True. And then our ballroom dancing class is actually on Saturdays.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a whole itinerary.
We'll get the full schedule out.
Yeah, we'll let you guys
soon.
know. It's true. No, I only teach crappy movie preview voices. That's all I teach. Harlan with 10s. He's going to pop it up to 40.
JP looks like he's got a hand.
Yeah, he does. Look, you can before the cards even come up, you can just see he looks like he's got a hand. He's
just thinking, am I raising or am I calling? That's the kind of posture that JP had right there.
Hijack to the cutoff. Now over to the button. Andrew, obviously with one of Harlan's 10s here, he's going to get out of the way.
And it folds around to David, and he's definitely going to call here for 30 more with his pocket 4s. Unless Sarah grabs his cards and mucks them there.
Sarah does what she wants. Guys, I can tell you, if you played at Stones, you know Sarah. If you haven't and you do play at Stones, she is not the dealer that you want to lip off to unless you expect some lip back. But it's all in play for fun, and we love her.
She keeps the table. She's a regulator. She keeps the table in place.
I mean, she's a lifer, man, and she knows every little rule about it. And if you're going to try to tell her that what she's doing isn't right, she'll tell you why it's right. And you know what, guys? She's right. She's right. It is what it is.
David checks. Harlan he just has to hate this flop with his pocket tens. Queen and a jack. Spade draw.
AKA Cold Dog, what's going on? Do the percentages take into account the folded cards? I believe they do.
Yes, they do. Yes,
when
they
we
do.
When we actually show the outs counter in the top of the screen, you'll see certain cards grayed out, and that's because we take those out, and that's what we calculate our odds on.
Yeah, it's the true odds for the actual hand,
Exactly,
taking into account of the hands folded. It's not the actual average odds when you don't know what the other hands are.
There you go.
So.
There you go. One out at the top there. You can see it.
Yep.
So there's your question. One is gray, one is not. And it's funny because we know that because sometimes somebody will have an out to chop and it will still show them 0%, or an out to win, it'll show them 0%. And I'm like, why? Why? And then we're like, oh, it's the folded card we already pulled out. Asking where did Peter go, wondering about a salad bet. This could definitely hinder the salad prop bet. I love Rick and Barstow says, if you lip off to Sarah seriously, you will be broken off. If it's in fun, though, you'll get trashed right back and everybody's... I mean, that's kind of completely true. Completely true.
Andrew's open raising from the cutoff with ace-3 of hearts to 35. Orlando snap calls on the button with pocket tens. Dave in the big blind, ace-8 offsuit. Decides to call for 30 more, and Porter now trying to decide. Yep, he's going to also get in there with his king-4 of hearts for a $10 discount. 145 in the middle, 4 ways to the flop. 10, 5, 9, 2 hearts. Orlando flops top set. Andrew flops a nut flush draw.
Oh my God.
Porter flops the king high flush draw. This should be some action here.
Guys, wee, fireworks.
Yeah, Andrew.
Let's get it on.
As the pre-flop raiser with ace-3 of hearts, you love to see this flop with the nut flush draw. He bets $55. And it looks like a call from Orlando. And I believe it's an $80 bet there.
This is going to be
it's an $80 bet from Andrew. Orlando snap calls again with top set. Porter most likely going to see a call here, out of position.
This is where players who play online are like, oh, it's rigged. Like, nope, it happens in live poker too. Ultimate setup.
And let's see if the heart banks. This would be a crazy hand. Oh, and
Queen of Hearts on the river? Who wants it? Who wants the Queen of Hearts on the river?
Interesting turn card now. Orlando, obviously no reason yet to believe his his set of tens aren't good, but definitely doesn't love the queen on the turn.
I mean, really, only somebody calling your bet on the flop could have like 8-jack. Nobody's ever gonna call it with a gutter ball like king-jack. Even 8-jack's a little sketch. At this point, you know when you're Orlando and the pot's getting as bloated as
and wow, look at this. Porter betting out 225. He turns a gut shot straight draw with his flush draw, decides to take the lead.
And this is sick because you're Orlando, you know at least another player has either a monster or at least one flush draw. You're not thinking 2 giant flush draws like that.
Yeah, this is gonna be really interesting here to see what Andrew does.
You know you're against massive draws.
Look at the stack sizes now. After Porter bets this, he's got about 600 behind. Wow, and Andrew just folds the nut flush draw right there. I guess he sensed that Orlando is shoving here because
Orlando's getting it for
I'd
sure.
have to imagine Orlando's gonna shove here with the way he's set this trap up. There's a ton of draws. His hand is still good here a massive percentage of the time. He's gonna get called by a lot of worse hands.
So 2 1/4 looks like he has about 500 behind. I mean, what do? If you min raise to another 2 1/4?
This is a perfect spot for a shove.
Of course, you have to, right? Because it looks...
Porter might call off here.
It looks even more fishy raising and leaving yourself with only a couple hundred behind, min raising and leaving yourself with a couple hundred behind. It's pointless. You just ship it and hope that Porter, says, all right, I'm in.
And I believe he just called. Oh, he said.
No,
okay.
he said all in.
Okay.
The way he threw that out there,
okay,
it's an all in, right? Yeah. The magic hand coming through the middle of the screen here. Our split cam hard at work.
And this is the really tough part about deciding to bet out here on the turn. I mean, once you bet out with your hand value, you kind of have basically, you should have made the decision you're going to roll with the hand basically if you raised. Otherwise, you should just check and try and get to the river for a little cheaper.
I mean, take a look. It's about 500 a call. Pot's 14 to 1500. I mean, you're getting about 3 to 1 on your money. You have 2 separate draws now. Gumbo.
Yeah, no, once you've set this up for yourself, you kind of have to continue on here. If you're not willing to call this all in, you should just check and see if you can get to the turn for the same 220, or to the river for the same 225-ish bet.
Porter's thinking one of two things. He's like, either I should have bet more and insta-dedicated myself, or right now, can I really get away from this?
And this is a tough spot now a little bit.
The good old semi-bluff to, oh crap. Look at Orlando's expression on this. Now, when you're all in, you're just where do you stare? You're all in, where do you stare? Do you pick a spot on the table and stare at it, or what?
I usually pick a spot on the table and stare.
I do, and I'm thinking, do I stare at the cards? Do I stare at, Have you ever had anybody who just stares right at you the whole time?
Of course.
Yeah, just like right. Of course. And you're just like, do you just want me to look at you, or what do you?
You know what's always funny to me is when I'm watching someone that I'm in a hand with, as the dealer is putting out like the flop or the turn, and we're both locking eyes with each other, and like whoever's first act has to give in. And eventually, I've had some serious stare downs of like 30, 40, 50 seconds
before
one of us finally has to be like, okay, I have to look at the board now.
Oh my god! That's what I just.
Silliness.
That's what I want to make him break. Like, you have beautiful eyes. Just boom. Like, let me just break them. I just want to break them.
Oh, that's good. Try and get the crack out of him.
He really put Porter in the tank here, dude. Oh, he's gonna let it go. I mean, obviously Porter knows he has to bink a jack. He has to bink hearts. King's no good. He knows that king is never good here.
Yep.
4 is obviously never good. He has to bink his draw, and he decides to let it go. Racing guy in the house, what's going on? Thanks for the kind words, buddy. Solid chip stacks here. Harlan chip leader, no surprise there. 2.4K. That's what I mean. Just a good old 5-5 game. Why do we not have 2,500 a player on the table? Like, of course. All right.
That's a good comment. I didn't even think about that. Call it and run it twice.
That's it. I just doubled my odds. Nailed it. Actually, calling and running twice would have probably been pretty solid for him right there.
Yeah, if he knew that Orlando would be down to run it twice, that might be the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, can I ask before I call? Like, hey, you want to run it twice?
I was gonna say.
I mean, is that like, can you do that? Can you not do that? I mean, what's proper etiquette there? I guess you can ask. I mean, nobody can shoot you for asking. Watch him say, I'd be down to run it twice, and then you say call, you're like, no, I'm just kidding, run it once.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and that's how you get yourself blackballed from a casino, the old switcheroo.
That would be dirty.
Aunt Doom popping in the chat. What's going on, my friend?
Well, Bri, that's right.
You know Anthony here, little
What's
Anthony.
up, guys?
Little call your mother, oh God. JP now waking up with a hand with queens. Pops it up to 30.
Call your mother.
Call your mother.
So yeah, JP raising to 30.
And Dave here, we haven't seen him play a hand yet. He's waking up with 9s.
He's trying to decide here whether he wants to call or 3-bet on the button.
And it looks like he's going to call it, I'm thinking.
Definitely like the call here, being this deep.
It's like, says 30, I think he is at least 2 reds, or maybe more like 35. But yeah, he's calling. Suited aces in the house, what's going on?
What up, what up? And wow, look at this, David O. Pocket 10s in the small blind. Also decides just a flat call.
It is, no, it's not wrong at all. I think our big stack right now has about 2,500, but it is table stakes. It is table max.
Yeah,
so
you can buy in for the biggest stacks. There's some pretty deep stacks here at this table. And wow, here we go. 5 ways to the flop. There's a lot of dangerous flops that could happen here.
Like all unders for queens versus 9s.
4, 5,
and
6.
10s.
Ian flops the top open and straight draw. 9s, 10s, and queens all have an overpair that they all can't feel too great about right now. And look at this. Dave decides to take the lead. He bets out $100. Even though JP's got the best hand here, if this hand is played here where JP calls and there's no raise and a blank comes on the turn, we might see David O raise us with naked aggression here. This is going to be a really interesting hand. Now, what do you do here if you're JP? You raised pre-flop. You have a bet and a call in front of you on a 4, 5, 6 flop where you could be drawing dead or semi-dead. He decides to go for the raise.
He goes for the mid-raise. Oh, no, more than that.
He's going for it here.
Oh, he's going for big raise, yeah. He's going for the good old 3x raise. And the problem is, it's such a coordinated board. Let's get crazy. Let's say you are good here, right? Because he is. Well, you know. But even look at Ian's equity versus his equity, right? The problem is it's so coordinated. You have to fade the world. To have 2 cards on that board that don't kill you, you have to fade so much. I mean, you hate that flop. Any overpair hates that flop.
there's a lot of elements going on here. I mean, I'm definitely looking at that bet out as a weakish type of bet. But yeah, we don't know exactly how weak it is. It's such a corny board. The flat call there from Ian's very scary. And look at that, David just gets away. He recognizes his 10s are crushed. He hates the flop even more than queens. Ian now, 650 in the middle. It's 200 more to call. He'll have about 900 behind, and JP has him covered if he decides to call here. Looks like he's gonna make the call. We're gonna have 850 in the middle here going into the turn. Ian looking for an ace, a 3, or an 8. And wow, Ian actually picks up a backdoor flush draw.
So many outs. How is Ian almost not ahead right here?
Ian is 41%, as you can see by since the fact that we know the other card's folded.
3, 8, heart, ace. Oh my God.
And Ian decides to check. If you were honestly going to decide, okay, I'm rolling with this, I might like that. Just shove it on the turn with it.
I was going to say
it's a pot-sized bet. It's going to get through a ton.
Well, now and here's the sick part. And here's
you got a lot of equity.
This might I would agree with you, but this might actually work out because now he can bluff at this. And how can JP ever make this call?
Yeah,
if he ships it, there's no way JP
Ian
can
checks, and that was just it's such a perfect bluff spot.
You can tell that's kind of what JP was afraid of by that triple raise on the flop.
Yeah.
You know. Wow. And I agree with you. If I'm Ian and I bink the turn and I pick up that extra heart draw, I'm shipping it.
I think you have to ship right there. You're out of position. If you check, you're going to be faced with a big committing bet anyways. There's a lot of fold equity at this point. You have a ton of equity in the hand.
Yeah.
I don't think JP would have necessarily... I mean, maybe JP would have called there with the queens on the turn, but that King of Hearts is a nasty turn card for him. He might already be drawing dead with the 4-5-6 flop or, really bad. So, interesting hand. Nice hand, JP.
God,
ship a dip.
So we flopped top set against 2 monster flush draws. We flopped all unders against 3 overpairs. Dude, cheers. Let's get this.
Cheers.
Let's get this party started, man.
Good start to the game for sure.
Stone's live, my friends. We're here. You're here. We're hanging out. It's gonna be good times. And we're only 30 minutes into the stream. I love it. Awesome. Game on.
Yeah. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us in the chat. You guys always bring the humor. Appreciate you guys being here. Wow, look at this. We've got a. Is this a bomb pot?
Did we get a dealer change?
Yes, we did.
Guys, so real quick, going over bomb pots. Is it 20 or 25? Probably
$25. Everyone put in $25. Everyone goes to the flop. The action starts basically on the flop with $25 in the middle. We are 9-handed, so we have 225 in the middle.
So JP's open. Yeah, JP's open-ended. 2 pair for David O, top and bottom with 8-3.
Oh wow! And if you're David O here, this is the dream spot.
Yeah. And look, Porter's got the same hand.
Wow.
And Andrew's got jacks.
Wow.
You
Andrew has jacks.
In a bomb pot, you hate jacks.
JP has 5-6 for an open-ended straight draw. There's a lot of possibilities of this hand. I expect David to just put a good-sized raise in here.
And this is where okay, if I'm Andrew here, this is what you have to do. You put in your raise to establish dominance and see where you're at. When somebody ships it over, because one of these guys
you're against 8 other hands.
You have to be gone. You have to run. Run, not walk, run. There we go, right here. This right here is screaming, I have 3-4, 8-3, 8-4.
Porter, especially with the $535 stack, there's no decision here.
Yeah.
Even with this crazy action here, you flop top and bottom.
I believe somebody in the chat had asked what the payouts are. This is a cash game, so the payout is whatever you end up cashing out, you get.
Yes, this is real dollar amounts here. Not a tournament.
So David O is shipping all in for about $650, it looks like. Porter is all in.
Now look at this, JP saying, I might have pot odds here with my open-end straight draw. I've got something to think about. If I make a 2 or 7, I might be able to stack 3 players right here.
This is nuts, man. Oh my God, and that's the thing is if you're JP, you know if it hits, it's good. Especially it's full rainbow board. If you bink it, and this is sick. Gamble-wise, you're like...
I mean, this is the sick thing is if he has X-ray vision here,
yeah,
you're probably going to get this in with all the dead money. And wow.
And guys, this is how we do it. I feel like our bomb pots have such a rich history of just
he showed the 5-6
because he knows it's good. Harlan's like, give it to me. I'll back half your whatever you want. Now, if you're Andrew, this is sick. I mean, when you make that raise and 2 players ship, 1 player ships, guy overships after him. I mean, your jacks are no good.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to bink at least a jack to be good here.
He will have about a $220 side pot with David if he decides to make this call here. But you're looking at Andrew here, and it's $470 to call. There's $1,700 in the middle. This is definitely not an easy fold. And he decides to make the call. Andrew now is going to look for a 4 a jack, or whatever the turn card comes, if it's not an 8 or a 3.
Oh,
wow.
God.
7 on the turn, 3 on the river. Good thing for JP he didn't get in there. He would have hit the nuts on the turn, would have been celebrating a little too early, and then gotten crushed and heartbroken by the 3 on the river with the full house.
I love how both of them see the river and they think, I got it, it's mine. And they're like, dude, you have the same hand?
That's so
Are you
sick.
kidding me?
Why can't you have 8-4?
Dude,
Why can't you have 8-4 right there?
Case 3 on the river. I'm thinking like, dude, Andrew needs to see a 4 or a jack on the turn to even have some hope in this hand here. Full boat.
That was a sick one.
Full boat chop pot where both cards play. Welcome to the stream,
Sick.
guys. Whee!
Wow.
You're watching Stones Live. If you haven't clicked that heart at the top of your screen to follow us, I don't really know why you haven't yet, actually. People just walk up and ask me for car keys. I just give them away. Whatever you guys want. You want car keys? Just come on in. We'll buy you a beer, get you a car, whatever.
This has definitely been a great start to the show, huh?
Dude, oh my God. Our biggest problem is raking and chopping these monster pots.
That's right.
Good problem to have. Says our booth guys, our magical men behind the curtain.
That's right.
Yep, chop takes a minute. That's what happens when you have these monster bomb pots. I love it. It's game, guys. You're watching a 5-5 no limit game with a table max stake after the initial buy-in. I think most of these players, I think somebody asked earlier, I think most of these players are going to buy in for around that. It's a 1K cap to start, I think.
Yep.
I think almost all of these players are guys who buy in with that 1K mark. I mean, I know everybody at this table, nobody goes in the 5-5 game like, all right, I'm going to start with a couple hundred. Like, no. And in fact, a lot of times, I think you were involved in this, is where you get 2 players who max buy, everybody buys in for 1,000. Right off the bat, one player basically doubles up, and then the other guy just buys in for twice and says, okay, I'll max his stack now, and it's game on. Then you got 2 guys sitting with 2 or 3 grand at the table right off the bat within like 2 hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
That happens a lot. All in, no peeking, bomb pot first hand.
Boom.
Only if Harlan's there. Harlan created the dealer bomb pot change, and it's great. I mean, why not? It causes spots like this. I mean, where else are you going to get 2 guys in there with 8-3 just battling it?
I know, right?
They'd never be in there.
8-3 stacking jacks.
Jacks raises and everybody just like insta-mucks 8-3 like a ninja star out the window.
Yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of the pre-flop bomb pot.
I love it. Rob Malt says this game is rigged. This is what we're always talking about, which is actually one of the
This game is rigged.
well, it's one of the sweet compliments I get a lot on the stream, you know, and we talk about it, and we're just like, you know, you see this crap hit the fan online, you swear like it never happens in real play. I mean, this is about as far from rigged as you can do. In fact, we're forcing hand shuffles too, because if you put our nice cards through the card shuffling machine, they're gonna break. So, I mean, it's great, yeah. Sometimes watching some of these beats on here make me feel better about my own beats that I take.
I know, right?
I just like, oh, whatever. I remember that one time that nut flush got snapped off by that 2-card straight flush that should have never existed. I remember that.
This chick is really struggling with this look.
I believe that is Ben in the dealer
Yes.
box, and Ben's putting in biz. Actually, as far as dealers go, Ben is super smooth and he's quick, man. Those cards come out like a freaking like a baseball pitching machine, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's taking a while. It's taking a while because we got a side pot, a main pot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Andrew had everybody covered, right? So that's why. So you have to figure out the main pot plus the split plus the side. Long hair and feminine hands. Look, just because Ben is good at moisturizing doesn't make him a chick, dude. Ben is a good dude. Ben's rad. Peter Salad
Saw the
Ben.
long hair and the feminine hands.
So funny, I know. I do love our chat. Actually, our chat's a, you know, every now and then you get a few bad apples, but all streams considered, because I've watched a lot of streams,
Yeah.
our chat is relatively cool for
Yeah.
the most part. You know, we have a lot of regular viewers who get in here and hang out, and we love you guys. Well, we love like 90% of you guys.
Harlan with a $10 straddle. This is basically a 5-5-10 game. Everyone seems to be straddling. Andrew with ace-queen trying to Get some cash back. Tough hand with jacks.
It's just tough to get away from those sweet overpairs, but in that particular case, my saving grace is the fact that in a bomb pot scenario, your hand's never good. Unless I have like a set or monster 2 pair on a super uncoordinated board like they had, that's the only time I'm shipping right there. Thanks, Dad.
Peter decides to call from the cutoff with pocket 8s. David O is definitely going to defend here with ace-7 of diamonds. Porter getting in there with a suited ace-3. And Ian says, why not? There's a ton of people in there now. 6-4 of spades looks pretty nice in this spot. 5 ways to the flop. 185 in the middle. No one really likes this flop. No one really likes this flop too much. Andrew flops up a
little gut shot
straight draw. Peter actually has the best hand with a pair of 8s.
It's like, and everybody else is kind of in whiff city. Yeah, Peter, 5-way action, should never really have the best hand here with 8, so he's probably going to be pretty sheepish in this spot.
And queen on the turn. Andrew now has a hammer lock on this hand. No one else even has a draw, except for a couple gutter balls there with the aces.
And Andrew is definitely going to fire out some chips here. It looks like, let's call it 90? Yeah, $90 it is.
This should take it down.
And there was an instant look of 8s there, as we saw. And I think this is going to get through. Little redemption. A little redemption. You know, start to build that stack up. AO.2 says, Andrew Nemi, who you guys saw here on our Vloggers Only game, is in London for the 888 London main event, and he said there's a shot clock for the main event. What do you think about shot clocks? I like them. I think why not?
Of course. I wish every tournament had a shot clock.
Oh my God.
I can't stand... I've been playing a lot of online lately.
So here's the deal.
And I can't stand when I now come back and play live tournaments how long people are taking on hands. It's like 5 minutes, 4 minutes. It's like, man, it shouldn't be allowed.
Not at all. I would say the majority, and when I say majority, we're talking 90% plus of the time. You know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay, fine. We'll let you Hollywood. Hollywood for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't need, all that time. And so that's why it's funny, because whenever I do have one of those rare circumstances where this is a huge pot, a huge bet, awkward numbers, and I have to replay the hand in my head, that's when I'll tell guys, like, sorry, hey, I actually need a minute. You know what I mean? Like,
it's okay. It's okay when you're in a big decision on turn or river and you're facing a big bet.
And I don't often need that, but when you tell people, I think they appreciate it, because they know that you're not the guy who just stalls. You got 5 high and you're stalling just for camera time or something stupid. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I love shot clocks. And for those instances we're talking about, I don't mind when they have shot clocks if you have a couple of those time extensions. Just 2 or 3, and get you by on those weird, funky cases. Look at this turn for JP here. Top 2 now. Still a gut shot for David O.
And this bet should get through.
I can't
really imagine David's in calling with a gutter ball.
I'm going to ask David after the stream if 3-6 is like a lucky hand for him. I don't know.
Second time he's gone to the flop here at 3-6.
He loves it, man. He loves it. Yeah, Carl Sagan says, the problem is on final tables, the money is so insane. You're right. I mean, you do almost have to calculate odds versus ladder payment jumps, too. Like final table style. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I really love if there was just a 30-second shot clock on every single decision, and then players have a 2-minute time bank they can dip into, just like online.
Yeah.
You can use it throughout the tournament. Mm-hmm. But really, there should be really no, with the use of a time bank, there really should be no need to take more than 30 seconds every decision.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people are tanking, and they might as well just say, "Hi, Mom. I have no decision. I'm just doing this for you."
Yeah. Orlando raises to 40 with Queen Jack. David defends, just decides to flat with pocket 10s. Porter now with pocket 9s.
Why do I feel we're gonna get another pocket pair in there? That's just the MO we've had tonight. Oh, 7 deuce, definitely not. All right.
And Andrew with the discount, $10 discount, decides to get out of the way with ace-9 offsuit. One of Porter's outs is gone. 3-5-3. David and Porter both with medium solid over pairs. Orlando with 2 overcards. David's gonna bet.
I feel like that's the way. Next time somebody asks me how I want my steak done, I'll be like, medium solid, please.
Medium solid.
Medium solid, if you will.
David bets 100. Porter calls. Queen Jack gets out of the way. To the turn we go. Queen on the turn.
Oh, Queen would have got there, but I mean, were you banking with your 2 overs or with their Queen high? Never.
King on the river.
King on the river. Both players hate it. I would see check down here. I'm thinking. David's gonna go for
David's
value.
Gonna go for some thin value.
Bold, extra thin, bold
and gets
strategy,
the snap call.
It.
And wow.
He just goes for some extra spiciness and pulls
Was
it
that
off.
75? Yeah, 75.
It's funny, I found myself correcting somebody's play when I was in Chicago. I played on a riverboat there, somewhere in wherever the hell it was. And somebody makes a call, or he makes a bet, and the other guy ends up calling him. And the way it worked out is there was a pair on the board, and he basically had the next best. The only hand that could call him was this other hand. The guy happened to have it. It was like he had Queen Jack, and it was Ace Ace on the board, and the other guy had Queen King. Otherwise, it was a chop. It was a chop all day. And so he's just like, oh man, I shouldn't have bet it. And I'm like, actually, dude, there's no problem going, because the guy checked it in position to him. And I'm like, dude, he's never gonna check an ace there to you on the river. Like,
He literally had the one hand that has Yahtzee.
yeah, so I was like, he's got the one hand where he can call where you actually don't make money there. So honestly, you going for thin value was super on point. He's like, oh, thanks, man, blah, blah. And then I was just like, maybe I shouldn't correct this guy because I'm like at
No,
the table
you should
playing
not.
against him, and I was just like,
Should not.
but he was kind of beating himself up about it. I want to be like, you're
I've
good,
done
dude.
that too many times.
You're good. You're
Yeah.
good. Don't worry about it. You're good. I'm like, it wasn't as bad as you're making it out to be. All right. So
David raises up with Ace King. JP calls out of the small blind pocket fours. We'll see if David decides to continuation bet here. If he does, I can't really imagine pocket fours staying in this hand, which is once again showing the power of the raised C bet, and it gets through.
So Rob Malt chimes in the chat and says, we should get a speed poker game going where each person gets only 30 seconds to act or your hand is dead. I totally agree with you, and that's pretty much what we're talking about with the shot clock. But even then, if you're just watching this cash game here, with the exception of some big all-in choices, no player here I don't think will take more than 30 seconds on just an average fold, call, raise.
No.
You know? Yeah, Rick and Barstow, chronic abuser of the tank. We've seen it. We all know who they are. I've moved tables because there's a guy who plays so slow that literally
You just can't stand it.
the hands per hour were cut in less than half. I can't, dude. I'm not here to play twice the amount of time because you just feel that you need to like fold slow.
It's just super annoying.
Yeah.
Folds to JP on the button. He raises to 40 on top of the $10 straddle with pocket sevens, and looks like he's just gonna take down the blinds antes.
Once again, take a look at these stacks here. JP and Harlan both around 2,300. Even our short stack Andrew has just under 600 here. Porter around 700. So pretty healthy game. Any of those guys can top off anytime they want.
What up? What up?
Action Ashley in the house. What's going on? Yeah, I think I feel like it should be borderline like speed chess. Like when you act, you hit the button, and then the clock goes to the other guy. Okay,
Yeah.
you act, you hit the button. Heads up. Could you imagine that if it was whack, 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 whack? You pile through hands so fast, and that's actually something we've experienced in Limit here. When we stream the big Limit 100, 200 game, the hands go so fast. Like our guys tracking the action in the booth almost have trouble keeping up with it because it's just like people are calling or two betting or three betting before the other guy even gets his bet out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so just insta move.
And David O, once again showing he's not afraid to mix it up, raises with 7-4 clubs, and Harlan says, okay, I've had a hand here in a while. I'm going to 3-bet to $140 with 7-5 offsuit. Unfortunate for him, he just happens to run into pocket jacks on the button. Andrew there. Otherwise, this would have been probably a get-through spot with all the hands that raised and called here.
And you notice Andrew's playing these jacks relatively cautious. We saw him lose a huge pot with jacks earlier.
I really love this play. I think this
Yeah.
is the best way to play this play. You've got Harlan who's 3-betting stiff here. You have no reason to know that he has 7-5 offsuit.
Yeah, I mean, what if you light 4-bet?
even
If you light 4-bet and he ships, you can't call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Oh, I didn't see Andrew only has 420 behind though. I didn't see that.
Oh, with that, I might ship actually.
Yeah,
I didn't-
never mind. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah, with Andrew's 420 behind here, I would have really liked to see a shove. But hey, if you have X-ray vision here and you see the 7-5 offsuit from Harlan,
Now
then
this-
you'd make the flat call here because
this-
Harlan's not calling the all-in.
Yeah. Fun board, 3-9 king, rainbow. Obviously, Harlan totally misses, but he might try to exploit his 3-bet range here and still play it off. Now with the check.
This is really hard though because Andrew only has 420. So if you
Yeah.
bet 150 or so.
Oh, you know what? Actually, take a look at Andrew's stack, guys. His stack size is wrong. Andrew has a big stack of white.
Oh, he does
on
have
top
big
of it,
stack
so he
white.
does,
Okay,
he
so
does.
okay. Okay, so never mind, Andrew. Great flat call. I like the flat call.
Andrew, when you're rewatching this tomorrow, right
Yes.
now, a great flat. So 5. Now Harlan does connect with this 5 on the turn. I think it's irrelevant, honestly, regardless of what came on the turn. With Andrew checking the flop, I think Harlan's going to fire here the majority of the time. And he's just figuring out how much. Pot's around 360. I'd expect to see, what, 200? 200 and some change, 2 1/4, something like that.
Yeah, probably about 230 or so. He definitely wants to get through. He's gonna probably size this up a little bit to try and get a fold here. You know, you definitely don't love this spot if you're Andrew, but you know, Harlan could have a really big hand here. And if you're facing, you know, if you're calling here on the turn, you might be facing another big bet on the river. But with the fact that you did decide to flat call pre-flop and not 4-bet, with the fact that you decided to check back the flop and not bet, you have to call here and see just what happens on the river and feel this one out.
And the real crazy thing is this. I mean, if you're...
He does decide to make the call, deuce on the river. Now we will see if Harlan decides I can fire and get through here.
If you're Andrew and Harlan checks the flop after 3-betting pre, I mean, I feel like he either has a monster or complete air.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he's either got like ace queen and missed the world, or he's got like pocket kings and he just.
And that's what you're afraid of right here. You're afraid of pocket kings.
Yeah.
Some players will get tricky here and check pocket aces here on the flop out of position, and then bet turn, bet river. You know, there's a few, or maybe even ace king, because you just feel like you're so strong on the flop. And Harlan now is trying to tell the story of I 3-bet pre-flop here with kings or aces. I checked the flop to you, I bet the turn, and now I'm going for my value on the river, and here it is, a $600 bet into 860, nearly 3/4 of the pot. This is a tough spot for Andrew. Oh, excuse me.
Oh no, it says all in a call. It says all in a call. Yeah, because our chip count is wrong for him.
Okay, so it's not all in a call.
That's not. But if you look, I mean, he's got, let's call it 400 to 500 on the bottom plus the white. So
he's got about 12 or 1300 back, so it's going to be about half his stack here.
Yeah. Guys, once again, the white chips are hundreds, the reds are 5s, and the greens are 25s.
I mean, you really have a bluff catcher here if you're Andrew. I mean, basically, Harlan's going to have a complete airball hand like he has here, or he's going to have a hand like kings, ace, king, or aces, and...
Totally agree. Yeah.
This is not an easy spot. You know, this is...
And Andrew,
it's so easy to sit here in the booth, but this is a really, really tough spot.
There we go. And we actually just got the numbers updated on his chip stack there, the 1.4K at the bottom, so it's not all in the call, but now we have the chips right. And, you know, it's one of those things where you try to separate the hands, right? But he's also thinking, I sloughed off a bunch of cash earlier with jacks like 5 hands ago.
That's
you know
definitely
what I mean?
coming into play.
And it's at least going through your head. You want to not think about it, but you're also kind of thinking about it, you know?
Yeah, this is one of those trust your live reads, trust your gut. You know, this is a tough spot. This is the definition of a tough spot.
See, it's scenarios like this where like he's tanking and I'm like, I'll allow it.
You're allowed to take your time here in this spot.
Take your time. Put in that time bank. Take your minute. Having a jack kind of sucks. Having the jack of clubs really sucks. That's what Carl said.
And he makes the call.
Great call. Great call, especially with how tight Harlan's been playing. It's not his normal MO. I actually respect Harlan for double barreling there on the turn and the river. You know, good play on both players, right? Yeah. I mean, you should have been able to get him to lay that down, and he made a great call.
Yeah, no,
it is what it is.
It really is one of those rare hands where both players, for the situation, played it really well.
That's where I'm like, you know what? It's like, you know, you have those scenarios where you're like, you played it great. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, whether you call or fold, great play or whatever. You know, it's just like
Israeli Ron, welcome to the chat. What's up, my man?
In the house.
I will not be pushed around.
Never. Any poker stream would not be complete with just one rounders quote. So we're good. We're good. Women are the rake. Okay, maybe 2
Women are
quotes.
the king rake.
Wait, who said that? Nobody ever said that.
In the game of life.
Yeah. So Rob chiming in said Harlan should have bet more around that 750-800 range for the win. This is one of those questions where I'm like, can we just do a freeze time and ask Andrew, like, would that have been enough? Because obviously he was on the fence there. But I don't know if the extra 100 or 2 would have did it, or if he just would have still gone with that soul read, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But great call by Andrew.
That's definitely a good question, though. I can definitely say when I look back on some bluffs that I've made in the past, I'm like, man, I think if I would have sized up a little bit more, if I'm willing to risk 600 or 700, why not bet 1,000 to really try and get through?
So taking a look at these stacks, Ian and Porter on the short end here with about 790 and 715. Everybody else over $1,000. Andrew now after that big pot, almost 3K. Israeli Ron in the house with that Queen Deuce life. Every time Queen Deuce comes on here, I'm like, harness your inner Ron. Harness your inner Israeli Ron.
That was actually my lucky hand when I was like 19 or 20 for a couple years online. I just randomly won a bunch of really big pots in cash games online with Queen Deuce, just randomly out of like the big blind. And
I feel like it should be a thing. Like everybody should just like have like, okay, just tag Israeli Ron in social media. Whenever you win Queen Deuce, just pop a quick picture and tag him.
Yep. Here we go, Andrew raising up to $50 with the black queens.
Andrew's thinking, is this a joke? You keep giving me like jacks, these queens.
He's definitely up that. Porter deciding to defend with the 10-7 of spades. And I believe we're heads up to the flop here.
There we go. So top pair versus
really
overpair.
Unfortunate flop for Porter. This is the problem with the straddle. Sometimes you get
and Porter will play this cautiously.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a big kicker. He'll play it cautiously. I would expect to check call one, see if he gets more outs, which he does now. He has a straight draw along with his hand.
Now hit a 6, a 7, or a 10. As we see up above, 5 out of his normal 9 outs have been. Actually, only has 4 true outs here right now, which is why his percentage is much lower than in a normal scenario.
Yeah, look at all the outs. 3 of his outs are oh my god, 5 of his outs are folded. Holy jeez.
Porter checks. Andrew bets 130, and Porter snap calls. River's a jack.
Brick City. Still the best scenario for Andrew here.
480 in the middle. Porter checks.
If I'm Andrew, just looking at the board texture and the way the hand played out, I'm thinking I'm good all day here. Yeah, I'm good all day.
He asks how much Porter has left. Looks like he's sizing it up here. Sees it's about $500. With the jack hitting the river and Porter having a 10 here so often, I really would like to see a smaller bet of about 175 or so. I think that's a pretty good sizing here. I think a 10 is going to pay that off a lot of the time. And there it is, 150. I love it. I think it's really important to downsize your bets here when you're getting a hand like a 10 to call here.
Exactly, and actually he hasn't actually moved back in betting pattern. I mean, like 50, 130, 150. He's right in range there. And now Porter's thinking, are you full of it? He's just quiet. He's trying to listen to his beard grow. Solid value bet from Andrew. And it's interesting because obviously Porter is taking previous hands into consideration. He just watched him call off a good call with against Harlan with jacks, and he's going to let it go.
Yeah, really nice hand there by Andrew. Perfect sizing.
Andrew on the upswing. I mean, honestly, I was kind of worried about Andrew after dumping off that big pot with jacks against 8-3, and it seems to go nowhere but up for him right now, so he is doing just fine.
Momentum is a real thing.
Momentum is very real. The poker boss in the house, Mr. Sean McCormick, my good friend Sean. I believe he will be out here next week, if my calculations are correct, so I'm going to be ready for party time, for sure. So get out here, let's party. Like I said, I toss out car keys, so you get my car keys when you're in town, so no rental for you, bud.
Poker B in the house, what up?
Oh my god, all the cool kids show up at once? They're all fashionably late, I see how it is. All right, Poker
late
B,
than never.
Poker boss.
That's right. Harlan raising to 40 under the gun +1 with ace-7 offsuit. JP calling with pocket 4s. Folds to Peter now on the button, taking his sweet time, trying to decide what to do. Lays it down. Lays down the ace-7 offsuit, 2 of Harlan's outs. David ain't going nowhere with king-jack offsuit in the small blind.
If it was 3-6, he might even re-raise.
Yeah. Porter gets out of the way with king-8, and Ian folds his jack-3. 3-ways to the flop.
Boom, 9-6 deuce, couple of spades here. Whiff City for pretty much everybody. JP's 4s still in the lead.
It's check to his 4s. He checks back. David O hits the king on the turn. I would have liked to see a bet there from JP when both players check deuce. Small blind usually doesn't hit that flop. The pre-flop raiser usually just giving up.
Yeah.
You can take it down a ton. I'm not just saying that because you can see the cards. I think that's a good spot to bet right there.
And you can learn more if you take his class right now. But it is funny though. I see a lot of players. I've heard from a lot of these players who play on the stream that they religiously go back and they watch their stream, whatever. They listen to their stream on the commute, they check it out, and they just go back and even if they don't watch the whole thing, they skip their important hands just to find leaks in their games and try to really plug it up. Like, and they'll go through and they'll be like, dude, if I did what I wanted to do here, here, and here, I would, you know, even though I was up for the night, I would have been up an extra 500.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You
Yeah,
know, it's like. Everybody says, oh, it looks like Peter's going for the over on the salad bet. It is 8 p.m. Peter has one more half an hour to get a salad.
Still,
salad prop bet. No, he doesn't have one yet.
Oh, he doesn't have one yet.
That's how we gamble here at Stones. Salad prop bets. Waprai chiming in says, yes, after he plays on the stream, he watches as well, for sure.
So Orlando raised it up with Queen 4 of Hearts. Flops top pair. Harlan flops middle pair threes. Everybody checks. 3 of clubs on the turn. David now picks up the only lone flush draw. Harlan decides to bet his pair of threes for $55. Orlando is definitely not folding. He's going to call, and this will be interesting to see if David decides to get in there with the 9-high flush draw in position.
I mean, you're hoping and praying if you bank a club that your 9 is good. Because obviously these guys have some other stuff in their hand, but you're just praying that their backup card, their kicker, isn't a club. And he's going to let it go. Would have been a pretty brazen move to call there with just the 1 club trying to bank off.
10 of spades on the river. We'll see if Harlan now decides to fire again. He checks. Orlando instantly checks back. He's going to scoop the pot.
Israeli Ron chiming in from the chat. Queen deuce is the nut.
Queen deuce.
Every time, baby. Queen deuce.
Queen deuce.
Deuce is
Vote
full.
me up.
Poker Boss is here Saturday party time. Dude, you just tell me when and where I'm there. End of story. Done. Done. Let's continue my partying escapades. Once again, you guys are watching Stones live. If you haven't clicked the heart up there, then, I don't know, maybe your mouse is broken, but click it. Follow us. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday. Cash game fun. And it's funny because this is actually one of our smaller cash games that we stream, and this is by no means like peanuts.
No, this is definitely not. I think honestly, these 2-5 games up here as Stones are pretty much deeper than any 5-10 games at most other places, really. You know.
I was gonna say most of the time that I play a game here, I feel like I'm laddering up to the next level. I feel like if you're playing the 1-3, yeah, exactly. Everybody knows the 1-3 here plays.
The 1-3 here is bigger than 2-5 almost anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's 2-5 all day, all day. Pinball, poker, and parties, all peas, dude. I like it.
Pinball, poker, and parties. Dave Crit raises to $35 pre-flop. David O decides to get in there with King 7 offsuit. 6-6 ace, 2 diamonds. Dave is going with a continuation bet, and this should do the trick.
This should easily get through. And again, it's one of those things where David really doesn't mind calling with a super wide range of hands as long as he's in position. David O. I mean, if he has position on the razor, I feel like he'll lick you up with anything, which is both really good and really scary all at the same time because he could really exploit board texture. And you're like, okay, he has it, right? He's gonna have it because his range is everywhere. Maybe he's been watching Harlan play a lot. And he's like, well, Harlan does what Harlan wants, man.
Yeah, this is interesting.
It's actually, they mentioned Playboy Pinball in honor of Hugh Hefner, the big thing I was at in Chicago. They put a giant Playboy pinball machine on a huge spinning circular platform, so when you play it, you're spinning super fast, so the ball's just like flying everywhere.
Cool.
Even when it's supposed to come straight down, it just goes.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a hot mess, and you get off it, and everybody's drinking, right? So you get off it, and you're like, whoa, like this is bad.
Yeah.
Their whole room spinning.
That's pretty sick.
Plus alcohol, yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Orlando raises up with my lucky hand, suited 8-6 of diamonds. Porter decides to call in the cutoff with ace-7 offsuit. JP gets in there out of the big blind with king-8 suited. 3 ways to the flop, 120 in the middle. JP flops the nut flush draw. Porter flops top pair. Orlando flops middle pair. Everyone gets a piece of this. And look at this, Orlando deciding to take the aggressive route here, bets $50 into 120. Expect to see a call here from both players most of the time. JP says, no. I'm going to check raise here. This is a great spot to check raise if you got x-ray vision.
Yeah, if you have x-ray vision.
Porter's ace-7 now shrinks up. His ace-7 can't beat anything except for a bluff, a semi-bluff here, which is exactly what JP has, but there's no way to know that if you're Porter.
Of course, ace-7 definitely experiencing some shrinkage issues, but the problem is with Porter's stack, he might just go for the what the hell, I'm all in. But that's also scary for JP because it's like, 200. I mean, he's basically...
He has to call now.
Yeah, first off, he's forced to call, but he's also telling Porter, like, look, put it in or don't. Like, that's what we're going to do here. But yeah, Porter's never like, well, hopefully my 7 kicker is good on my ace, because it's not.
You definitely have to consider the fact that JP does have a lot of draws here with the fact he called out of the big blind and check raised the flop. There are a lot of draws that are going to check raise this flop, so this definitely is a considerable spot to get in with your stack size. And he decides to lay down.
Let it go. And this is a prime example of aggression pays. Sometimes when you have the monster draw, you don't need to hit it. Just bet it and take it.
Aggression wins in this game.
And heaven forbid you actually do hit it, then you're really getting paid because somebody's calling you with a pretty solid hand. So that's going to pump, well, Andrew's still our big dog here at 3.1K, but that puts JP as our second in chips with 2.4. It's funny, we normally try to mark down notable hands and give them over to Crush Life Poker for analysis and stuff. I'm just going to write the first hour. Like that pick any hand, like just go.
Hell yeah.
There's your hands. Yeah, I said shrinkage issues. The water was cold at the table, Rick and Barstow.
He stepped into an ice-cold pond.
It happens.
Shrinkage issues.
You know?
We've all been there.
Well, guys, I would say. And David O, 8-5. What's he gonna do? Nobody's raised. I feel like he only calls raises in position. See, and that's the difference, right? If he was in position and somebody raised, he'd think about calling, but instead he just open folds 8-5. Don't underestimate David O. He might look crazy. But he'll play a little bit.
Ian opens the 40 with pocket kings.
And we haven't really seen much from Ian at all.
No, we haven't.
So this should kind of set off some bells. Harlan's pulling the old David O trick because
I'm on the button. I have position.
I'm in. Yeah, he's calling.
Orlando's definitely going to get in there for 30 more with Jack 10 of clubs.
This could be
Price
fun.
is right. The hand is right. 3 ways to the flop. 130 in the middle. 7-8-3. Orlando flops a gut shot straight draw. Ian's got to love his hand with this flop.
Now, Waprai is chiming in with some factual knowledge that says, uh-oh, because kings never win at stones. This is very scary. I actually put all the money with Orlando's 10-jack if he can stay in, but I think that Ian's really going to put the pressure to him. He bets 105.
And he takes it down.
Yeah.
Here's our current chip counts.
There you go. There's the old cash win command punched in by the poker boss. Andrew currently up 650. David O up 600. Orlando up about 500. A lot of people up. Harlan says Harlan stuck about 1.3K, and that was actually just earlier from that pot that we saw where he almost pulled off a solid double barrel bluff against Andrew, but Andrew picked it off with a pair of jacks. Harlan now with 8s. He's going to pop it up to 35. Looks like 40 to go.
Yeah, he's going to take it down.
Really happy to see a lot of new faces on the stream. Yeah, super solid. More and more people really getting into the stream, really wanting to play. One of my favorite things is when you get a lot of players who are from out of town, they watch the stream, and then they're like, hey, I'm going to be out there for whatever, a family event or work, and like, can I get on the stream? I like it because Justin and the house really always tries to get those players on, because let's face it, if you're in town, I mean, why not? Let's get you on. I know we had, I think it was Leo come out from Malaysia. He was here on work, which is great because he normally watches our show at Malaysian time at noon during his lunch break the next day.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is great.
That's awesome.
Vocal Terror in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Ian, back to back, waking up with some hands here. King Queen pops it up to 70. Almost back to back. He gave Harlan a chance to win a hand. JP with 7s. He's just gonna flat. I think because Ian has a super snug image so far at this table.
And wow, is it just a $10 straddle?
And of course we get another pair. No.
Dave limped in? What's going on?
I think it was a $10 straddle by Peter, and Ian popped to 70.
Dave's in the hand though. What did he do?
Yeah, I don't know.
He limped in.
What did Dave do? Well, David O right
Dave
here.
O.
Oh, did the action skip? They're trying to figure out. I think the action skipped all the way around it. Uh-oh. This would be fun. Let's listen in.
So I think
But there's already been major action in front of him. I think they might tell him his hand's dead. They might. Because there's already been, if there's two or something, if there's 2 or 3 major actions in front of you, your hand's toast, I think.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Because at that point, it's the game has to play itself. You can't just hop in now and back raise all in or something, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
We can get an exact ruling on that, but I'm almost positive if the action gets to 2 or 3 spots behind you, you're toast.
So anyways,
Woo!
JP flops middle set. 7-5-8. Dave crit with an overpair. In a lot of trouble. Checks around to JP. JP's definitely gonna get at least 1 street of value from Dave here. JP bets 130 into 245, so
Again, that's one of
just
those,
about half pot.
That's one of the super scary coordinated boards. I mean, if a 6 peels off, you hate life. If a spade peels off, you're not a fan. You know. But luckily, you can kind of narrow their range because you made it 70 to go.
Yep.
You hope there's not a lot of random 4s in there or 9s in there, but we'll see.
Yeah, and you can see Dave here is not loving the spot. He can't go anywhere, but he's going to make the call. And more than likely, we're going to see a heads-up scenario here on the turn with $500 in the middle.
And so Ian's obviously going to let this go here. What if a 9 peels? Oh God, don't do it. A 9 would just be gnarly.
With the 10 of clubs.
Again, scary card. You got to think that he might be on some sort of. I mean, what if he had like some ace-6 of spades, open-ended, nut flush draw, any sort of, or do big spades? He might make that call too. I mean, you don't like that turn at all. He checks it to you, and he's going to play it safe.
I really like this check back.
Yeah,
sevens.
yeah. Because he either has it or you pair the board and you get him anyways. Either way, you open up this to just bet, just call
And
this.
wow,
a flat
David
call.
just with no hesitation, as if to say, I have a flush. Looks like he's betting right around $400 into 500. Oh, 320.
And the problem is what if he did have just 1 spade in his hand? He's probably got the ace of spades, right? You hate that river. Can't fault Dave for making a solid attempt here, but
I think you really just have to call right here. You've checked back for pot control. You're still beating a lot of hands. You're beating bluffs. You have to make this call.
Yeah, you just call.
Yeah, you just have to make this call.
If you ever raise here and get reshipped, you hate yourself for doing it. Now, absolutely great call by JP. Great attempt by Dave. Got to give it to him. Great attempt by Dave to steal it, but JP's hand was just too strong. And that's, you can see, that's good old Dave. A smile, a nod, a nice hand.
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is. Good call. It is what it is.
And there
Look
we go.
at these stacks
Wow.
flying everywhere. Every single hand, they're way different. So Andrew and JP now tied for big chip dogs here at the table. 3,100 a piece. And guys, that's a dealer change. You know what that means? Bomb pot time. So all the players are going to put in 25 bucks. We're all going to go to the flop, and you're going to have 9 players to the flop for 2 1/4. Game on.
Yep.
I mean, guys, if you don't believe me, just look earlier in the stream. Our last bomb pot ended up getting 3 all-ins. So, yeah, shit happens, you know? Curteroni in the house. What's going on, buddy? Curteroni's a good dude. Play a bunch of games online. Actually, we played Quiplash a few times on Vocal Terror stream. Which is a fun game. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but you make up your own, like, definitions.
What's it called?
It's called Quiplash, but think Cards Against Humanity, where you answer with like a messed up card, but you get to type in whatever you want that card to say. You can only imagine how sideways that game goes real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Very different playing it with drunken friends versus Thanksgiving dinner.
Here we go. Here's our bomb pot. Everybody put $25 in the middle pre-flop. Everyone goes to the flop. There's $225 in the middle as all 9 players put in the $25.
So,
and now the hand starts off.
So it looks like JP's got an 8. Dave crit, we can't see his hand. I don't see anybody
David
with a
O
deuce
bets
here.
$25 into $225. And if no one has a 2 or a flush draw, this $25 bet might get through. You might think
No way.
Okay, there we go. JP says, I have the 8. I'm going to raise you. I'm going to raise it to 75 and see where I'm at and get you to fold a lot of hands like Queen 10 offsuit.
Dude, I love our bomb pots, man. They're so much fun.
And Orlando just decides to get in there with 9-4 offsuits, maybe trying to rep a 2 here. JP's definitely got a hate.
I love it.
Both of these calls, wow. I'm really surprised that David O decided to call with Queen 10 offsuit there for 50 more.
Now some alarm bells are going to be setting off here from Orlando at this point. Like, okay, I get 2 callers. I'm not getting away with this. If you knew how weak they really were, though, he could definitely get away with this.
Wow, and I'm honestly shocked that JP's betting this with Orlando flatting on the button there. And Orlando might say, you know what? I'm going to stick to my story. I'm going to rep the 2.
No way. I like it.
I am going to play this like I have a 2.
Oh, and that's just going to seal it up. That's the dream scenario.
That's so sick.
For JP.
If this river didn't come at 8,
you want to see if Orlando could get away with it.
Orlando would have gotten away with it.
Because JP either checks on Orlando fires hard or JP bets on Orlando raises. Either way, he could have.
It's not fair.
Yeah, he could have.
It's really not fair. I mean, maybe JP would check call a 10 on the river, but no 8, no 10. I think Orlando's going to win this pot.
I like Orlando's posturing. He's really playing it off like he had a deuce. And like you said, if this river doesn't come, I think Orlando gets away with pretty much whatever the heck he wants.
Or maybe the card reader's wrong. What's going on?
Okay, whatever. Then just completely throw this hand out the window. The card reader might be wrong here. There's no way. If he's really stacking up chips to posture fold like this, what?
Oh, wow.
The reader can't be
he does have a 9-4 offsuit.
There's no way. I don't know what he had.
He must have had a deuce.
Yeah, the reader,
he had to have a deuce.
Yeah, he had to.
He flat called the flop. He flat called the turn.
Let's just X out his hand. He's playing it so well, like he has a well, because he did have a deuce.
Maybe. No, I'm just joking.
No, no, he didn't call for information. The card reader had to be off there. 2+2 Pro Poker. What's going on? JV Callis. Hello. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Thanks for the kind words, guys. Much appreciated. Click that heart. We're here with you every Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. spewing cash game fun.
I love it. After 8 hours online session and 25 no limit, I am here with my coffee and I'm chilling.
I love it.
I like it.
Absolutely love it. After a good grind, it was kind of the same thing with me, dude. I went to this crazy pinball show out in Chicago, raged for like 4 days, came home, and just fired up the lineup at home. I'm like, I'm just going to jam a quick game. My buddy's like, really, dude? First thing you do when you get home is play some more pinball? I'm like, well, you know, I mean, that's how we do it.
Pinball life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really unfortunate river there. 2 outer most likely for Orlando. I can't imagine he had anything except for a 2 right there.
Yeah.
And he decides to raise 5 deuce offsuit on the button, saying, my 2s are not going to do me dirty again.
Oh, wow.
And Harlan...
coming in strong here.
I believe he limped in.
And is Harlan going to 4-bet over Dave here? Wow.
So I believe Harlan limped in. Orlando raised, Dave called, and Dave O called. Oh no, David O 3-bet.
David O 3-bet. That's why I was like, so is he gonna 4-bet over top David O here? If that is indeed right, because I only see $50 out here in front of Dave Crit.
You know the thing I love about Harlan's game is he reads betting patterns so well. I mean, this min-click 3-bet to 60 by David just smells weakness.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, I feel like you're weak. I'm gonna go after here. I got position on you.
Mm-hmm. There we go. So Harlan did. Oh, Harlan popped a 30.
Little do you know that your 8-3 offsuit is dominating me.
Harlan originally popped. Yeah, yeah. David Oath did a weak 3-bet, and Harlan said,
Yeah, Harlan. That's a big strength of Harlan's game. He definitely feels weakness in spots and takes the aggressive route. And he takes down the pot with 6 high like a boss.
And again, these chip counts, man, every hand. I mean, that's how you can tell. If you want to know if it's a live game, look at that chip count stack every hand. Like, can we just get a random graph there? Because, I mean, it's just massive chip exchange every pot.
Yep.
2+2. Thanks again, man. Super glad to have you here, dude. Always a pleasure. Like I was saying earlier, actually, our chat's a big part of this show, so we enjoy all the regulars here. We're hanging out, you're hanging out, everybody's got coffee. Life is good.
Yep.
So it looks like Harlan limps, JP. Did Harlan limp? Oh no, they're both called. Sorry, there was that $10 straddle. Looks like it's a mandatory straddle. Even our 5-5 games, they're pretty much doing a mandatory straddle around the table, it looks like.
Orlando raises to $50 from the cutoff. Definitely don't like to see the call to your left by Dave, who's a little bit on the tighter side here. He's got the king-queen offsuit.
Oh, hi, Mark says, give some love to the lurkers. Well, thanks for chiming in and saying hi. Lots of love to the lurkers. I know there's definitely a
lots of love to the lurkers.
There's lots of streams that I watch that I definitely don't hop in and say hi on. Pyroshan, I see you as well. Thank you very much, guys. Very cool.
Yeah, appreciate it. So we're going 4 ways to the flop, $220 in the middle. Dave Crit, loving the flop. King 5-4. Nobody else really has anything much at all.
I mean, look at that, 87% equity, 4-handed. Dave Crit is crushing.
It's a rainbow flop. Yeah, you're
critical hit. Hey-oh, pun intended.
Loving the spot. 220 in the middle.
Crit swinging the green chips. Those are $25 chips. Looks like he's going to bet about 200. Pot size bet there, 200 and a 220.
It's definitely too big of a bet for the texture of this board, the position you have, the strength you have.
Yeah, that just screams.
I would have liked to seen about an $80 bet right there, but
that screams.
It wouldn't have made a difference in this hand.
It wouldn't have, but that screams. I have a king. Please go away.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a king, I guess that's what you want, right? So there you go. Do the players have assigned seating? Seems like Porter always sits there. You know, when they're organizing the game, I think Justin reaches out to you, and if you lock in the game, I think
you can. If you get a seat,
you lock in your seat.
If you get a seat, you can say I want C4, I want C7. If no one has it, you got it locked up.
If it's available, yeah, you lock it up. I know a lot of times you pretty much see Harlan. This has kind of been Harlan's new seat, I think, since he won that crazy bomb
he's
pop.
Always been trying a seat 8
but
now.
he used to really be like a seat 1 guy. Yeah, Harlan used to always be plopped down in seat 1. And I think there's a pretty solid list for this game, guys. If you haven't done it yet, download the Stones Gambling Hall app. It's 100% free, regardless of what phone you have. Unless it's a BlackBerry, I don't think we actually support that, but everything else you're fine. Yeah, download it, check it out. It'll show you the live games that we're running. You can sign up for games live remotely. You have our whole tournament calendar on there. We have our food menu on there, the whole 9 yards. It's a pretty polished app, so check it out. It's free, how can you not? Curtaroni, let's break it down for a new guy, but how's this work? What's the buy-in? 5-5 no limit, started out as a $200 minimum cash buy-in to a $1,000 max, and now it's table stakes, so you can come in and match the largest stack at the table. Since it's a cash game, you can cash out whenever you want. You're not forced to stay here, and that's pretty much it, dude. Game on. So to the flop here, 9 high board, 9-5-3. David does bink off a 9.
No raise pre-flop. Everyone limped in for the $10 straddle.
JP's got open-ended there with 4-6.
David O is betting out just about pot with his top pair.
Rob Mull
getting in there.
Rob Mull asks, the Stone's going to host a 100-200 game again or higher? Absolutely, we will.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when, what stakes, and honestly, we're gathering more and more players who want to play at that level, which is great. Most of them end up driving up from like the Bay Area and you know, or LA, so it takes a little bit to get the game together, but when we have it, it's always action.
Really interesting hands. So David O bet his top pair 9s here. Porter calls with a gut shot straight draw and an overcard. Harlan calls with middle pair. JP calls with an open-ended straight draw. 8 of hearts on the turn. David O bets really small here. He bets 50 into 230. The pot now is $280. Harlan definitely doesn't like that turn card. He gets out of the way. JP still has an open-ended straight draw that is not going to be as disguised now if he hits a 7. And 4 on the river.
Which is what you hate when you have a straight draw and you just bink a pair. You're like, oops. So David now with the check mark, pots at 330.
And David O bet 75 into 330.
And short of turning JP's hand into some weird, wicked, crazy sideways bluff.
And yeah, if you're JP here, you're either folding or you're turning your hand to a bluff and raising. There's no calling here. You got to decide one way or the other. Be okay with letting it go, or decide
he's gonna let it go.
David O can't call me with just a pair of 9s here. I'm gonna fire away at it.
Now, if you notice something about JP, you can see he has his phone in front of him. He is watching the stream. He does have the earbuds in, so he can hear this ridiculous commentary. No, I'm just kidding. But JP, he is one of the few players watching the stream now. He's just getting free information, right? And we've seen this before, and most of the time it's helpful. Sometimes you can almost overthink your process.
Yeah.
But he is getting information on previous hands about everybody's play. I mean, and we've seen a lot of wicked three betting with air. We saw Harlan's double bet earlier, on the turn of the river. So he's getting a lot of free information. It's up to him now to figure out how to analyze that and use it.
Yep.
And obviously, guys, that's not cheating for those of you new to the stream, because we're live with you, but the footage we're watching is about 20 minutes old. No phone on the table. Ironically enough, in Chicago, they made you step up out of your chair to use your phone.
Yeah, some casinos do that.
Yeah.
Dave Crit raises to $65. He decides to 3-bet Harlan's under the gun $20 raise here. Harlan defends with the pair of 9s, 140 in the middle. Both players hate this flop.
Yeah. Who hates it more?
Harlan checks, and if Dave continuation bets here with, which is what I've seen him do here, whenever he's the aggressor pre-flop and he's heads up, he's firing at it. Looks like about $150. if you're in Harlan's seat, it feels like Dave's got an ace king or an ace queen. You're out of position. Let's go with the nines, and Dave loves to see that. The old nod of, oh, yep, you folded the best hand. Oh, wait, no, you didn't. Or, excuse me, you folded the worst hand. No, you didn't.
Poker Boss chimes in. So Israeli Ron says, on other streams, there's normally no phone at the table. Poker Boss chimes in, I'd actually be a fan of no phones on a stream table. Ironically enough, I would be too at the end of the day. I mean, I guess maybe if you want to listen to a little bit of music, but it is funny because we actually have this stream playing on a couple different screens around the table that you can see it. So it's not like they actually need their phone to see the hands. If you want to look up like, oh my god, what did he have this hand? It's literally just up and to the right. It's
interesting. It's actually, looking around the room here, they only have the live stream playing down here at the other end of the card room tonight, away from the live stream.
Interesting. Maybe that is why he's actually using his phone, because a lot of players just look up when they need to, and they'll bring it up. You'll watch them because there'll be several guys at the table be like, oh, this is that hand. Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah.
C10 rocking 2 phones. C9.
Orlando raises to $40 with Queen 10 suited. David O gets in there with the Israeli Ron, Queen Deuce of diamonds. Harlan calls with pocket 8s, and looks like we got a 3-bet from JP here. Ace King clubs. He's bringing the ammunition. Looks like he's raising to 210.
He has so many green chips, and he goes all red. He's like, check it out. Strength.
This is going to be really hard for really anyone to continue. It's a very stiff 3-bet. Harlan's out of position with his 8s. They are very deep here, though. It looks like Harlan and him both have about 1,700 effective, so...
Oh my god. I can't see his phone, but it almost looks right. Oh no, it's Facebook Messenger on the other phone. But he said JP's watching the stream and was that Tinder on the other? Swipe right, fold left.
We'll see David JP laugh. We'll see JP laugh here in a little bit when he watches, when he listens to this.
Yeah, when he listens at 20 minutes, you see him start laughing and like talking. That's it. He's like, they just said it. No, he'll be like this. How'd they know? Have they bugged my phone?
Oh shoot.
So guys, I hate to say it, but you only have about 3 minutes left for Peter to order that salad and get it delivered. I think you guys are going to lose the Peter salad prop bet. Sorry about that. Like how we have a prop bet tracker here of the Peter salad bet.
I love the prop bets.
There you go. Jenna Liz chiming in with what's going on. We don't put the stream directly on the screen behind the players because it's too much of a distraction, and you'll pretty much just be watching the players turn around the majority of the time. But it is normally put on 4 other screens in the room, including, I know, one that is visible pretty easily from the table. Unfortunately, football requests come in hot on a Monday, so be it. Looks like Peter K, haven't seen too much from him, is going to pop it up with Jack 10 suited, and everybody wants some. We have 2 pocket pairs like every hand.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
every hand
tonight. 4 ways to flop, and look at these. I'll say these hands. There could be a lot of flops where there could be a massive 4-way pot if you with a Jack 10, Queen 10, 8s, 9s.
What about 8, 9, 10 on the flop?
Oh,
like
wow.
just put me in a poker heaven
8,
crap
9,
show.
10. How about 8, 9, 10 with 2 clubs?
Oh god, I can't deal with that.
8, 9, 10 with 2 clubs.
Let's watch 4 guys light money on fire and see what happens.
8, 9, 10 with 2 clubs. That was the flop. Porter shoves for 265 on top of David O's weak bet out.
And Porter's been looking for his hand to get it in here, so.
He actually has the best hand. He doesn't know that he's actually firing here with second pair, and it's actually the best hand.
I was going to say, if Peter decided to make a loose call here, Porter would hate it. He'd be like, oh, you're good. No matter what, you're good. So that's great. He gets out of there. The one hand he's absolutely dominating against here.
Hey, he's gonna take this down.
Oh, look, you see Dave just say, how much is that? He's thinking about like, maybe I'll get a lucky call. I mean, come on. You know if he's got anything, you only have 2 outs.
I do not. I do, but I haven't logged into my 2+2 in probably 4 years.
Yeah, I think maybe I have an old 2+2 account laying around, something like that. I haven't been on there in a bit, though.
I did start a thread on there that had over either 75,000 or 100,000 views.
Oh, wow.
Craziest prop bet of my life, for sure.
Well, okay, don't leave. Come on. What's the problem? You can't just say that. You can't just throw out the hook and have me not ask.
I attempted to go for the at the time world record fastest to Supernova Elite on PokerStars. I was trying to get Supernova Elite in 2 months.
Oh wow.
So
that's so much play.
I was logging on to that forum every day. I put up 5,500 to win 30,000 against 5 other people.
Oh wow.
And I was actually right on track after the 3rd week, but I was down as much as I was up in rakeback, and I was just 15 hours a day.
It was just a mind melt,
15 hours a day of 30 tabling continuously.
Oh my god.
I couldn't even I slept. I called the prop bet off, and I literally slept for like 48 hours. It's the longest I've ever slept.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't. What are you gonna do?
Never again.
We're signing in this thing. We have a Twitch forum, so yeah, we'll definitely get on there. Say hi.
Nice. So here we go. Dave flops an open-ended straight draw.
So Dave crit does
and bets
raise...
out 60, and David O decides to float with what is, little does he know, the best hand with ace high. And Dave says, I am the aggressor, I'm going to bet again, and this should do it.
Yeah, I can't ever see Dave pulling the old double float here. I mean, crit's pretty much saying, I have a beast, go away.
And once again, the power of aggression takes it down. David shows the ace of clubs. Dave crit shows the 10 high.
Now, we saw Dave crit also show the king high earlier when he bluffed and took it down, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now he's shown 2 stone cold bluffs. Good luck getting away with the 3rd one. I mean, you know, at this point, and that's kind of where it's like, look, if you're gonna set people up and you're gonna show hands, show them for a reason.
Yeah.
Now's where you come in with quads and you just overbet the hell out of it and get somebody to pay you, right? I mean,
you got to be a little careful now if you're firing a bluff again.
You know, it's one of the things that, you know, I learned over time is that even if you know what way you're going to play, or, you know, it's not like all of these other players play with you all day, every day. And so unless you have a super strong pre-existing image, it's really about establishing table image right off the bat.
Of course.
I mean, I'm not trying any super crazy, normally air floaty bluffs right off the bat sitting down at the table.
Yep.
I generally want to flip over a couple beasts like I had it the whole time. Then I'll start my floaty bluffs.
Yep.
Then I'll start like 3-betting Harlan with air.
Yep.
So he can pick me off and I cry. That's good.
So David O calls the $10 straddle. Porter raises to 30 with queen 9 of diamonds. Harlan gets in there with ace 8 of hearts. JP says 7-5 offsuit, why not? And David O is definitely going to call for $20 more after deciding to limp here. The price is right. 4 ways to the flop, $140 in the middle. King, king, 8. Harlan with the best hand.
Just go for Harlan. But 4-handed in some pre-flop action, you're not in love. I mean, you know, if nobody has a king, you should have it on lock, short of pocket pairs, but...
And Harlan bets what looks like $50 or so, $55. And this should do it.
Yeah, 2+2 says in the Twitch forum you can actually start a thread about the stream. Right on, very cool. Yeah, 2+2 is great, man. I mean, as far as poker forums go, I really like 2+2. I like in general. I like being able to get on there and, you know, post a hand and just be like, look, here's my position, here's how everything played out, here's the stacks, here's the overall table vibe, and where did I go wrong? You know, and they're either gonna come in like, dude, you played it horribly, or yeah, that's the cold deck, dude. You got stacked and nothing you can do. You know, I mean, it's generally how it is. Take a look at stack size. JP up there, 3,800, followed by our guy in second most in chips, about 3,100, Andrew. Actually, I had to look over to the slightly delayed stream over there because it flashed too fast. I'm like, who had too many? Oh, Andrew. He's got 3,100. Yeah, you know, somebody asked why Porter hasn't reloaded yet. I don't know, actually. I'm kind of surprised, too. Porter is generally a pretty solid player. I don't know, maybe he's got like a guy with a briefcase full of money on the way. That'd be my guess, but...
It said Porter called 20. I don't know if there was a $20 straddle on this one by David or what's going on.
So, looks like Orlando definitely stacking out a raise. He's coming in. Call that maybe a $1.50, something like that. Close.
125.
Bucket and quarter with pocket tens here from the small. Crit's getting out of the way. Peter's gone. Speaking of which, if you guys had the under on the salad prop bet for Peter, you lost. Sorry for your dead cash. I'll let Peter know. We'll collect the rake back on the end.
And yeah, it looks like Dave is going to release here.
Curtaroni says Porter's actually hiding his rebuy chips in his epic beard. I believe it. Whenever Porter rivers somebody, I always say he just pulled the card out and just tossed it in.
And as much as Porter wants to play this hand,
he's like, it looks.
Stack is a little too short.
That's really like, it looks so juicy. I really wanted to play it for like $20. I don't want to play it for like 120.
Yeah.
And gets through. Orlando taking it down. Lots of fun action from our newcomers on the stream that I haven't seen before. I'm actually really excited about it. They're putting in pretty solid. Seats 1, 2, and 3 there. Definitely getting in some action pots. Seat 6 over there.
There we go. He's hiding his
chips in the epic beard.
He's hiding his big chips in his epic beard.
And then, yeah, in seat 7, I believe it's Ian over there.
Yep.
Definitely been pretty snug.
Yep.
But when he's got a hand, I mean, he's in there pumping it pretty hard.
Porter under the gun +1. David straddle. Looking at ace queen.
AODat chiming in saying that's what happens when you play with too much of a short stack, is that basically by him raising 125 if you're Porter, I mean, you're either shipping or you're folding, and where if he had a large stack, he could look him up once and maybe outflop him or at least flop a set that gets him in trouble, you know?
So Porter raises to 45 under the gun +1 with ace queen. Harlan calls with king jack offsuit. And we've got a 3-bet here from Orlando with 10s, back-to-back 10s.
Same red 10s too, weren't they red too?
And with Porter's stack, I wouldn't be surprised here if he shoved all in for his remaining 270 and we had a big coin flip here.
Most likely.
That's what I would guess.
Most likely we will,
yeah.
We did tell Orlando he actually had to give his cards back, right? And then we just gave him the same
Were they
ones.
red 10s last hand?
Yeah, I think they were.
I think they were. It's the third time he's had 10s tonight.
Kurt Roney says, good thing it's not cold season or they'd fall out of his beard if he sneezed. And then Pyrushin says, is a sneeze bet binding?
Is a sneeze bet binding?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes,
If they cross the line, it is, yes. Back over to Porter, and let's see if you're right here. I'm thinking we'll probably see that. I mean, we saw a hefty bet the last hand from Orlando. Porter's thinking, you really got it 2 hands in a row. Yeah, he's
and
getting it in.
It is.
Yeah, you know it would be.
Snap fold by Harlan.
It'll be a snap call by Orlando.
We're gonna have a big coin
it's
flip
a
here.
runaway chip call. You can't even get in the chip fast enough. All right, so Porter here looking for an ace or a queen.
Looks like they might be discussing about running off the board more than once.
Porter needs ace or queen, and just put quads out there and let ace or queen high be good. So sick.
Looks like they're flipping up their hands.
Oh, there we go. They are flipping the hands. I'm like, where's the board? Here we go. Oh, all clubs, no player with a club.
Porter
Oh, God.
looking for a 10.
Oh, God, if he binks a 10, it's so nasty.
10 ace queen on the river. Porter looking for it.
Oh. It's so bad when you're...
And I believe they're running it twice.
When your outs get reversed, you're like, I want a 10. I don't want a 10. All right, they are going to run it twice, guys.
King, queen, 6. Porter now in commanding lead here with the second board. And 10 on the turn!
God, it's so
Porter
sick.
now looking for a jack. And ace queen is not going to be good for Porter. So for those of you that don't know what that means, the players decided to run 2 boards, which essentially splits the pot into 2 pots. The winner of the first board gets the first half of the pot, and the winner of the second board gets the second half of the pot. As you can see, Orlando wins both boards, so he will scoop the entire pot. The purpose of this is definitely to cut down the variance. Instead of having instead of having a big coin flip for the whole thing, you've got essentially 2 coin flips for half the pot each. So
Porter was thinking, I was already not running the best. Guys, maybe that's why Porter didn't re-chip, right? I'm already not running the best.
Some nights when things aren't going your way, you're not feeling great, you know, every hand's just not working out for you and you're losing right off the bat. Sometimes it's just better just to call it a night early in the night and move on to the next night. I think everyone does it the opposite. And when it's not going their way, you hear it so much, I'm stuck, I can't leave.
Yeah.
And on nights where people win right away, they cash out, when in fact those are the nights you should be here for a long time and ride the wave.
Rock it. Now, like you said, momentum is real.
Momentum is real.
Definitely experienced.
So is reverse momentum.
Yes, very true.
The Romentum.
Dice Gone Funny, what's going on? Am I personally in any games in the archives that we could go back and watch? Yeah, I final tabled the Hydra back in the day. I was in that. I was in the Stone Survivor series back there. You could watch it there. And then I think the most recent one was actually the Poker Boss, the Sean McCormick and Friends game. So you could check me out there. I decide to run over Harlan with only 2 hands, both of which being 10-7.
Nice.
It's the only hands I can ever beat Harlan, so. Yeah, everybody chimed in. I've played with him. Yeah, no, I've played, I swear. It's actually funny. I looked up the poker winnings on Holdem Mob, and all my winnings are actually split under 3 different names from old discretionary IDs that I had when maybe I wasn't old enough to play, etc. I won't go into legally binding stuff, but yeah, I have a fair amount of random caches out there that definitely aren't reported to me, and I'm actually okay with that. So, all right, to the flop here. 8-9 for Ian is open-ended.
And this is a nice flop here. A couple of draws. Ian flops an open-ended straight draw. David flops a queen-high flush draw. 2 different draws are going to be going at this pot together here if the bets aren't too big. 185 in the middle. David loves to bet out. Looks like he bets out 75.
David's taking his hand all the way, so let's just see how the rest of the players work it out.
A 10 of diamonds or a 5 of diamonds would be the killer action card. Deuce of hearts on the turn. Little does Dave. Oh, he flops. I didn't realize he flopped middle pair. That's a huge flop for him with the queen 7 of diamonds.
Yeah, pair with flush draw all
He
day.
checks, and let's see if Ian decides to take the aggressive card or take a free card.
He's going to check, get the free card, yeah.
And Dave now turning his hand to a bluff. I'd be curious what his thought process here is with this bet out.
Well, it's actually not bad for Ian to check back the turn there, because David's never folding that board there.
No.
So
no, it was a good check.
He actually he saved him money there. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, make sure you click that heart and follow us. We're here with you a couple times a week. And click that button to get notifications, because we do live stream the final tables of our bigger tournaments and our tournament series. And that goes live whenever the heck we hit the final table. So, I mean, we've had streams that didn't even start till 10, 11, maybe even midnight our time.
Yep.
And you know what? We do it anyways. Actually, it's funny, we had some technical difficulties during one of the events for the big fall classic that we had. And it was me and Tuckman. And they're like, all right, well, it's not going to work. We're not going to do it. And then me and Tuckman are basically out the door to hit the bars downtown and start partying. And they're like, hey, we got it working if you want to get in. And we're like, it's literally almost midnight already. And me and Tuckman look at each other like, hell yeah, let's do it, dude. I mean, come on, let's do it. You know, what can I say? We have fun.
Andrew's raising to $35 with King Jack offsuit. Yeah, Tuckman seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, Tuckman's rad. Battle of the same hands here.
David O gets in there with ace-5 offsuit. Ian calls the King Jack from the big blind. Harlan decides to defend with 7-4 offsuit. Queen deuce 6. Nobody hits the flop. And look at this, Ian deciding to use his table image to his advantage, betting out $90 into a pot of 140 with just King Jack high. It's funny, every single time I have King Jack now and it comes a queen blank board, certain things stick in your head. When I was younger, one of my best friends said that we were online players, and he said, God, I feel like every time I have King Jack offsuit, it comes a queen high flop.
Yep.
And so now my selective memory, I see it all the time now.
It's funny you say that. I mean, it's easy to go back and like kind of put things in perspective, but I'm kind of the same way. I actually see that a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like very rarely do I get a jack high board when I'm betting with King Jack. I'm like, yeah. And then somebody always has ace jack and I cry. So once again, guys, chip-wise, JP there's the big dog at 3,800, followed by Andrew with 3K. And then progressively down from there, about the 1K range for actually most players. And looks like Dave O has moved seats, and we have a new player coming to the game. So it looks like pretty much everybody here has 1,000 or more. Solid game. Kind of interested to see why David O moved. I mean, it's not like Porter was running super good in that seat or anything. I'm kind of interested.
I always have a rule. If there's a seat open to my left, I'm always going to take it. I'm never going to allow a new player to come in and be seated to have the position on me in case they're a good player.
You mean, so if the seat opened directly to your left, you always take it?
Always take it.
Every time?
Never leave a seat open to your left.
Bold strategy. I like it.
Either way, if there's a really good player, you don't want the really good player to have position on you. If there's a really bad player, you want to have position on him.
Yeah.
So I always take an open seat to my left at all times.
So that's good advice, guys. You heard it here first. Michael Loncar, sign up. Number one headband says, how did Harlan get stuck so much to miss a nasty suck out? Harlan actually raised, I think he 3-bet pre and then did a solid double barrel bluff that actually got picked off by Andrew in seat 1. I think that was Harlan's chip stack downfall, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually turned some equity in the hand with a pair of 5s, was hoping to bink a 7 or 5 on the river, and then at that point decided Andrew most likely has a hand just like he had with pocket jacks. He wanted to see if he can get through, and I like the play. It just didn't work out that time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the things where both players are like, can we just get a clap for both these guys? Because it's like, oh, God, I got second in the World Series of Poker. And I'm like, yeah, but you also outlasted like 7,000 players.
And made a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, I know it sucks, but, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be way worse.
That's funny you said that. I was just talking to Josh Beckley yesterday, and we're pretty good friends, and he's definitely not too disappointed about second place for 3 or 4 million, man. That's crazy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody wants that title, the prestige, the bracelet. I mean, more than anything, poker players.
Yeah.
They really want that, right?
Of course.
But, I mean, the money at least gets you to whatever the hell else you want to do.
Yeah.
You know? All right, so coming around, it looks like we got a bet of 20 by JP here with 4-6. Andrew with ace high is going to pop it up to 70 bucks. And I would imagine this would get through unless JP's got some sort of soul read here. Yep. Look at that. Great raise by Andrew. Easy money. He's just like, nope, you don't have it. Boom, ship it. So it looks like there's just about 15K right now in play on the table.
Yeah, this is a deep game.
Pretty solid. You mean your typical 2-5, 5-5 game doesn't have 15 grand on the table? Welcome to Stones.
Welcome to Stones.
And it's funny because a lot of people think that this game just maybe stops after the stream stops, and that's definitely not the case. If anything, these games go even longer, and the second the cameras stop rolling, normally they get filled with more players, actually.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, because there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So including the live stream table, there's 8 or 9 tables that are running right now. So yeah, so most of the time these guys just hop off. Because there are some players who love playing this game with these people, but they just aren't fans of the live stream. They don't feel comfortable playing on camera.
Yep.
So they'll wait till the live stream actually goes off, and then this game gets even more juicy.
No, the game, honestly, is usually juicier after the live stream turns off.
Yeah.
Because of that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a secret live stream that no one knows about.
Secretly. You're secretly being recorded. Don't worry about it. I don't want to make this weird, but yeah. Look at this. This is super limpy around here. We've got a raise to... Was this a min raise to 20 by Andrew? Oh, no. David O raised to 20. Sorry, with ace 10. Everybody's coming along.
So 7 players calling the min... Or, excuse me, 7 players for $20 in the middle. Ace, Jack, 8 rainbow. David with top pair. I love seat 5's disguised double gutter. I love flopping the old double gutter here. Yeah, no one can see the 9 or the king on the turn.
The super disguised. We're gonna call him Ka, right? K-A. I'm just gonna call him Ka. So Ka here, yeah, the disguised double gutter, because like, right, nobody sees it coming.
No.
And they're like, how do you call that? They think you called with some like random crap gut shot. You're like, nah, look again.
Look again.
Look again.
Oh, I love this spot.
Miss Poker Boss in the house, the other side of the Poker Boss clan. What's going on, girl?
Oh, and he just snap folded the queen 10 of diamonds. I would love to see that call right there. They're both deep.
Mm-hmm. 2+2 Pro Poker chimes in and says, some folks are afraid of looking silly on the stream. Definitely the case. I think the first time you play on the stream, anytime, I think that you don't even play the same right off the bat. I mean, it takes you a while to kind of work in and stuff, and eventually you forget that the stream is there, and you really just need to just play your game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you worry about looking silly on the stream, you're never going to be profitable. Essentially, if you're worried about looking and playing silly on the stream, it's almost the same thing as playing scared money, and you just don't do that, guys.
Yeah.
If you have $500 to your name, you don't sit in a game with $500 because you just won't play right. Did you really just ask who's a better poker player, Michael Loncar or Justin Kelly? He wins tournaments in bathrobes. Self-explanatory right there, guys.
I'm actually excited for the tournament this Saturday because of that. I'm pulling out it's the tournament that I wore the bathrobe for last year and won, so I gotta do it
You
again.
only get the fanciest of bathrobes when you're gonna robe it up in a tournament.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
All right, so raise it up to $50 here by JP with ace-6, and looks like David O with almost the same hand is gonna make the call, and they both. This is what I wanted to see. This is going to be who plays it better, right? Who wore it better here? They both have ace with crap kickers, with whatever comes on the turn, potentially a fun little redraw. Let's see. So David O checks, JP calls. I would imagine. I mean, this is what you're hoping for. If you're going to call it with David, I would assume he's going to make the call here.
Bet 75 to 120.
And he does make the call.
Makes the call. 6 on the turn.
And this is what I was thinking was going to happen. This is
the best turn card in the deck. JP picks up a 2-pair. David O picks up an open-ended straight draw and a flush draw.
Open-ended straight flush draw.
You can see he's 39% here. He has a lot of equity in this hand. He's not going anywhere. An open-ended straight flush draw.
I knew the action would be a 5 or a 6. I didn't expect the 6 of spades. Now you're just showing off.
Wow, this is sick. 175. David O's calling and. There it is. Wow, the straight flush.
Unfortunately for him, JP, if JP had the ace of spades, this would be just the absolute shit show. But God, how do you do that? Did David
just went check. David O checked and JP snap checked back.
David O, why do you check the river? You know what? That because David O really was hoping JP had some sort of flush.
He's hoping he had the ace of spades.
Yeah. The problem is,
if he has the ace of spades, you go for the big check
if you're David O, I mean, you got to bet that all day long. I'm never going to miss a chance for value on my straight flush.
Yeah.
You know? And you know what? If you have the ace of spades, I don't know, depending on what I bet, you might pop me if you're kind of just like whatever, but most of the time, at least I'm going to get a call.
Yeah.
With any sort of high spade, actually, at that point, most of the time.
Everyone's so disappointed in the chat.
Everybody's so like, dude, why?
No.
And here's the real sick part. How many times do you have some sort of open-ended straight flush draw? It never gets there. It never gets there. And then it actually gets there, and you can't get value for it? Damn it. DJB, watch more hands. You get to even see more fun times. It's funny. You get a play like that, or you get a board or a hand like that, and then all these names we haven't seen in the chat the whole time are like, oh, screw that, I'm chatting, I gotta talk about, like, come on, that's just, what are you doing?
And here we go, there's a new dealer, so everyone put $25 in the middle pre-flop. Everyone's going to the flop dark, $225 in the middle, 10-6-4. Let's see what we have here. We've got Orlando with a gut shot straight draw. We've got KA with bottom pair. No real strong hands here. Harlan, I think, has the best hand with a pair of 6s, and he's going to bet it. He bets 100, and this... Orlando's deciding to call with the gut shot. And more than likely, we're going to see a heads-up spot here. So we are going to see 2 folds, and we're going to see Orlando and Harlan going heads up to the turn. 425 in the middle. Orlando looking for a 7. Little does he know that is the magic card here, because Harlan would turn 2 pair. Queen on the turn. Orlando now with a double gutter. He can now hit a 7 or a jack for a straight.
Those hidden double gutters that you were talking about.
It's checked. It goes check, check, and we'll see if Orlando's going to fire here. And now this is going to put Harlan in a little bit of a tough spot. Orlando hasn't really gotten out of line. And he's going to be betting, looks like about 175 into 425, a little less than half pot. Feels very value-ish. Harlan's now in a hero call spot where I really don't think you can make this call since this was a bomb pot. Orlando's shown a nice, tight, solid table image so far. This would be, I'm not going to lie, I'll be very, very surprised if Harlan makes this call.
Oh yeah, I don't think Harlan can call this, especially being bomb pot wise.
No. Hand values go down in bomb pots.
PokerBot says Harlan 100% calling. I think because of the bomb pot value, I don't know if he is. And he's going to let it go. He is going to let it go. I like what Pyroshen said. Can we call these bomblin pots? Like a Harlan bomb pot. I see what you did there. Oh, and look, Orlando's showing it. Bam! Orlando just laying it out so you can see it. I like it. Pyroshen says, I never check a straight flush river. I don't need perfect info. And this right here, Dog Bark Poker, this is what I'm talking about. Damn, I want in this game. Guys, we are located in right outside Sacramento, California. If you have a Highway 80 around you, I promise you it's the exact same one. Get on it, start driving, get here. If you're going to be here, you know you're going to be in the area, hit us up, man. We'll put the info there in the chat. We'll have our one of our bots do that. But check it out. You can call, text, email, and we will get you on the stream if you're going to be in town. You watch these players on the East Coast saying, "Oh, this is such easy money. I wish I was in this game." I'm like, "You fly out."
Yeah.
We'll pre-put you in the game, man. We'll make sure you're in this game.
So David O starts off the action. I think it might have been a $20 straddle. Yeah, Peter straddled for 20. David limped for 20. Harlan makes it 80 with pocket jacks. Andrew decides to get aggressive here and 3-bet ace-10 offsuit on the button.
And unfortunately, against a player like Harlan with jacks, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether he's going to repop or flat. I expect a flat here most of the time.
Yeah, Harlan couldn't get his chips out fast enough. Oh, ace
wow.
right. Oh, a couple aces right in the window. And
this might be a lot of trouble for Harlan.
Yeah, because, I mean, here's the deal. One ace, two aces, well, less likely chance you have one. So Harlan might think his jacks are pretty solid here. But Andrew 3-betting, he could be wrapping up, you know, queens or kings.
This will be interesting to see if he decides to check back and get sneaky or just fire away. And fire away it is. Looks like a really small bet. I think he grabbed $120 or so. Wow, 115 into 600.
Now this is kind of weird because it's awkward. And it's gonna throw off some weird flags here. I mean, 3-bet to 280 pre-flop.
How much do you love life right now if you're Andrew? Don't have to worry about anything. Don't have to worry about being out kicked now. Don't have to worry about anything at all.
And you 3-bet to 280 pre, and then you down bet to 115. Harlan's thinking like, what? Why? Where?
I would really like this check back here. There's a lot of money in the middle. Harlan's out of position.
Oh, and he does. He does do the check back. This is great. And Harlan's thinking, do I check call for showdown value? Do I bet here and try to? We'll see.
I think if you're Harlan, you have to check 100%, assess the situation if there's a bet.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're Harlan and you're betting here, I mean, you're really only hoping to get value from him 3-betting you pre with like 10s, 9s.
And this will be really interesting to see if Andrew decides to bet light enough to induce a call from Harlan. It looks like it's a bet of about 300.
Yeah, pot's at 840. It looks like he's going to go for, oh yeah, a little less than half.
This feels really strong.
Yeah. Feels very valuey. Let's see if Harlan picks up on that. I mean, if you're Harlan and you're in the tank, you're thinking this could go either way. You could just be trying to buy it, or he's totally got the ace. Yeah, I mean, it's one or the other, right?
And he makes the call.
And Gorilla Gunner chiming in saying Harlan actually made a comment at the beginning of the hand saying that Andrew had already bluffed him once. So maybe Harlan was in the I'm not going to let you do it again type mode, which we've all seen. You know, sometimes players play a hand differently than you would think, and a lot of it comes down to either some sort of soul read, but most of it comes down to table image. You've played table history. Sorry.
Yep.
You've played with this guy, especially in big tournaments, right?
Yep.
You know, you get shuffled around at different tables. You're like, I've played with this guy for days. This is his MO. I'm in this exact same spot. I've watched him pinch 4 or 5 other players. You're not going to get it through on me, you know?
Yep.
DJB chiming in saying that check was genius on the turn. That was pretty solid. That's what got him paid on the river all day.
That was a great check
all day.
back. You have to check that back. You're gonna get all those mid pairs to pay off your river bets. You might possibly get someone to barrel into you as a bluff on the river. That was a really nice hand. Really nice hand by Andrew. Unfortunate spot for Harlan. That could have easily been a 10 high flop right there, and Harlan could have easily stacked a massive pot. I would have loved to have seen a raggedy flop and see how hard Andrew's going to push that right there if it came at 8-2-3 flop.
Yeah.
David O raising to $20 with Jack 8 of spades from under the gun. He's going to take it down. Here's our current chip counts. For those of you just joining us, this game started off as a $1,000 max buy-in. Throughout the night, players are allowed to buy in for the biggest stack at the table. So now, as you can see, Harlan reloading, and this is going to be a very, very deep game now. Biggest stacks are approaching $4,000. It's basically a 5-5-10 game. Everyone's been straddling $10 throughout the night.
Next, you can see one of our awesome production guys, Lance, there in the background. And what he's doing is he's leaning over and he's making sure the chip counts are accurate. Guys, this doesn't just magically happen. We actually have a booth team of 3 to 4 people behind us at any given time, moving cameras, tracking bets, tracking action, going back and fixing things that weren't right, and then an overall producer on top of that, making sure everything gels well together. So, yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. We couldn't do this without you guys, right? I mean, if we had 2 people watching, as much as we'd love to do that, that won't work for us. So, thanks for tuning in. So raise to 40 by Harlan here with King, Queen. JP is going to come along, as is Orlando. Back over to David O with, well, any 2 cards, so he should be in. All right, he's coming along too. 4 players to the flop.
King 9 deuce. I was just going to say, this will be really unfortunate for Orlando here if he flops a king high flop. He's completely smashed. Harlan just lost a big pot right there, so you have to imagine he might be firing here with a lot of different hands. There is a flush draw and a straight draw out there. Harlan bets $100 into 170. Orlando makes the call, and we're gonna go heads up to the turn here with 370 in the middle. Harlan only has 685 back, which is definitely gonna come into play here in this spot. Blank on the turn, 6 of spades. Harlan deciding how much to bet. Definitely doesn't like the diamond draw. Feels like he's got the best hand here. He's reaching for chips. Looks like a bet of around 175. Right about half pot. Is that 250? I do not.
Yeah.
I think it's, it was 175.
Ace ball on the river changes nothing. Harlan's still with the check mark here. And Harlan just totally saying, I had it the whole time. I still got it. Bring it. Harlan's shipping enough to put, it says all in 435. Obviously, Harlan's chip stack is wrong there. But we're seeing he puts in a sizable amount against Orlando here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if those chips behind him came into play this hand or not.
Oh, maybe just
he might have reloaded
those
during the middle of the hand. I'm not sure.
Obviously, guys, if you want more chips, you have to claim it at the beginning of the hand before you get your hand dealt to you. So if those chips he just got aren't in play,
I believe he's all in for 365.
Yeah, so he's all in for the stack he just pushed in. Otherwise, that's a really awkward bet sizing stack to throw in.
And little does he know, he's actually got the best hand. Orlando does have the king of spades blocker, but it doesn't really matter at this point.
Orlando's actually, I think, possibly putting Harlan on a possible missed diamond draw at this point. And he calls. He does. Oh, and this is where you look back, you look at the board, you count the kickers, and say, yeah, it's good. And
Harlan losing that big pot right before that with the jacks really comes into play here if you're Orlando thinking about, Harlan possibly just.
Well, take a look at the exact perfect stacks Harlan has behind. He did reload just $2,500 right there.
Yeah.
So it's sick too because you reloaded that, which would have been probably close to table max. Then you win this pot. Now you're probably the chip leader at the friggin' table.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Oh, this ought to be fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. After 9 says in the chat, WTF, missed diamond draw, could have hit the ace on the river. That's definitely a big possibility there.
It was just a bold strategy. Oh, everybody check it out. Peter's ordering. He is ordering that salad.
Oh, here we go. What time is it?
It's way past the
9:05.
time. Way past the time. Peter's, you know Peter's ordering a salad.
Prop bet city.
Yeah, the call is definitely a bit loose. I agree with you guys. But I think part of it had to do with the way the dynamics worked out with Harlan ordering new chips and then just shipping it in, thinking like, whatever, if I'm good or I can get away with it, cool. If not, I just reloaded 2,500. And I think Orlando was kind of picking up on some of that, and it threw off everybody's radar a little bit. What happened to Porter? Porter ended up getting felted and decided to play another day. I'm sure you'll see him on the next stream. I think once Porter, you don't start seeing Porter on the stream anymore, like Porter's probably not around. Porter's gone. Porter's in another country.
Yeah, Porter seems like a super nice guy. Had a rough night. I think he made the right choice, just calling it an early night, not his night. He'll definitely come back and see him killing it real soon. Ace-9 deuce rainbow. No one likes the flop. Peter with the best hand with a pair of 9s, no kicker. 175 in the middle. And we'll see if Peter decides to bet here with the best hand if it's checked to him. I imagine if you're playing a 9-6 suited in the spot, and if it's, wow, look at this. Orlando's just, he's in get my chips back mode.
Yeah.
He's betting 7 high into 3 players on an ace high board. And this is probably going to get through. This looks super strong. He only has a short 325 behind him. And there it is. This is going to get through. Nihan.
I see you've spent time playing poker. Nihan.
Greetings from Ireland, Justin Curitis.
Oh yeah, JFK
on
Stones.
vacation in Ireland.
We let him get out of here
What
like
up?
once a year or so. He is in Ireland hanging out. What time is it in Ireland right now, buddy?
Yeah, what time is it?
Thanks for tuning in.
Must be, what, 5 in the morning?
I didn't know he gets internet there in like whatever stone random castle he's in, and
I know, isn't it funny the mental
middle of
image
the
you have of
hills, right?
Ireland of like,
yeah, this
I
is
know
like
it can't be the way I picture it.
Yeah, Green Hills and
Just
Stone Castle, right? I mean, it's just like
little
how,
taverns you can just hop around.
like how people picture California.
Little dirt roads everywhere. 5 a.m.
Like,
there it is. Nice.
how people picture California, right? Oh my God, you ran into celebrities at the grocery store and you surf to school, and I'm like, that's not how it is, man. Calm down.
Thanks for saying what's up, Justin.
Solid.
Know you're having a good time out there, man.
So David O's going to come along here with Jack 10, as is Ian, and Harlan's taking it up. King Queen suited.
And so yeah, Harlan was the straddle here. I believe 3 people limped in for 10. He's pumping it to 75. And David definitely doesn't like the full pre-flop. He's probably going to get in here. He's out of position, but he has a playable Jack 10 offsuit. He decides to make the call. And it looks like it was actually a raise to 85. King 5-5. Harlan's loving life. David O is drawing semi-dead.
Harlan's loving life, David's hating life. Typical poker. Bets 100 into David here, and I think David's taking a hike. He's like, it looked fun. JFK Stone's chiming in from Ireland. We're asking him, how's the hurricane? Glad he's all right. And he said, hurricane came and went. It was boring. Solid. That's where I'm hopping.
Gosh, I didn't even hear about the hurricane.
No, that's where I'm hopping into one of those castles.
There's a hurricane over there, huh?
I guess.
Dang.
Maybe this one, Hurricane Ophelia, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, wow. Well, shoot, I'm glad it was boring.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't this, like...
As far as hurricanes go,
Super, yeah.
boring is good.
Yeah, boring is good.
Boring is
the
good.
one time boring is good.
Hey, glad you're right in the hurricane. Thanks, it was boring. Great, good to hear. Good to hear. Says we should work on getting VPIP in here. I think sometimes we do have VPIP in here. I think it comes and goes. I'll have to check with our booth guys on that. Dave Crit says, I haven't really been involved in a bit. Pop it up to 40 with 7-9.
Wow, Cade. Full ace jack there in the cutoff. A little surprise there. David O calls on the button with King 10 of spades. Harlan with kings. 3 bets to 225, I believe. And this should take it down. Can't imagine any of these hands are going to continue with this.
This will definitely get through. There's no way David's going to call an extra 180 on top. I think Ka's thinking, glad I folded ace jack.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't want anything to do with this. David says, does watching poker improve playing? I'm going to go with yes, assuming you're actually digesting what you're watching. If you're just zoning out, like that's not... If you're actually watching the good players really and taking into account position, chip sizes, stacks, circumstances, absolutely, yes. Wow.
A little table talk here. It looks like David might be really thinking about this. No, he's folding.
Yeah.
I think maybe Harlan is trying to do the old, oh, if you call, we'll check it down. And now David's like, I think I might do it.
Oh, God, he's so far behind. He's so far.
He literally has the #1 hand that he doesn't want to see in the spot. And I think.
I mean, you're more behind than if you have an underpair.
I'm pretty sure Harlan said if you call here, we can check it down. Oh, 10. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Harlan's so lucky
David,
he said that.
Oh, my
Flops
goodness.
the world. Nut flush draw and a pair for David O. David O's laughing.
David O's looking for a
He's like, I should have never
spade or
checked
a
this.
10. And wow, he would have lost a lot of money.
Oh, my God. And look at Harlan. Look at this. Harlan's like, God, I'm so glad I said check it down.
That's sick.
Oh, my God. The sick part is if he didn't say that, obviously David O should never call there, but if he didn't talk about the check it down portion of it, oh my God. I mean, David O just fires hard and Harlan runs. He runs for the hills.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, it can.
Once again, guys, you're watching Stone's Live Poker. Click that little heart there at the top. Make it green. Follow us here with you. It's absolutely free. We do this every Monday and Wednesday evening from 7 to 10 p.m. out here, West Coast time. And, yeah, we enjoy hanging out, having fun. We also broadcast the final table of some of our bigger tournaments, our more fun tournaments, like our Win the Button tournament that seemed to be very popular.
That was awesome.
Absolutely. Can't wait for the next Win the Button tournament. That was a lot of fun.
Man, I got three pair over pair all-ins in the first like 4 levels of that tournament and lost all 3.
Oh my God.
But I loved it. I want that tournament to come back really soon. That was awesome. Just so awesome. It created so much action.
Yeah.
So here we go. David raises to 35. Ian calls. JP calls. And now Andrew in a dream spot here in the straddle. Pocket kings. He's just trying to figure out how much to raise here. You don't want to raise too much to scare it off. You don't want to raise too little to get the domino effect of call. Looks like he's going 170-ish, I believe.
Andrew's no stranger to big pairs. I think this is probably the 5th or 6th big pair he's had tonight. Jacks are better.
And gotta imagine that this is just gonna take it down here. And he scoops the pot. Here's our current chip counts. A lot of deep stacks.
And that's exactly what I said. After Harlan wins that pot, after he'd already reloaded, he got like the ultimate sneaker scenario. You reload, but they don't play, but then you double up, right? And the funny thing is, if he had reloaded and had those extra chips in front of him, he probably wouldn't have got that call.
Probably not.
And so now he's at 4.5K. Just typical Harlan, man. even Harlan turns a frown upside down.
That's right.
So Peter here is going to make it 40 to go with ace-10. Ka with the same hand is going to call. And David with ace-7, I bet he's going to call. Aces are cheap, guys. Don't flop one.
Yeah, I see some chat here talking about that king versus king-10 of spades hand. The only reason that even went to the flop was because David was...
He was going to fold.
Dave was going to fold. Harlan said if you call pre-flop, we can check it down. He got the call with the dominating king-10 of spades, and they checked it down. That's why there was no action after the flop.
Look at this. Every single player here with an ace. And ironically enough, Orlando with the best equity here with a wheel draw.
Yeah.
Bink, king on the turn.
First person to bet is going to win.
Changes nothing, guys. Who's got an ace? We all do. Wow, checked around 5 on the river. Oh my god.
Everyone trying to show down their ace, and it looks like Peter and
God.
Kay are going to chop it up here with the ace-10.
Nobody wanted to bet like $10 and take it down? I've actually never read our Moobot command. Obviously, keep profanity to a minimum. Our mods are trigger happy with that ban hammer. You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. I did not know we drop Monopoly quotes.
They print that every time. It's awesome.
That's legit.
It's awesome.
I mean, I don't care about pass and go, but I could use that $200 if you're going to just throw it out there. Absolutely, here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Speaking of this, when I was playing actually out at that riverboat out there in Chicago, not only did they have a few weird rules, but I was just like, oh, you know, I've been drinking too much. I'm like, oh, I'll take a water. She brings me water. She's like, $2? I thought she was joking. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to tip you. Don't worry about it. And she's like, no, water's $2. I'm like, oh my God. We're literally on a boat on the water. Like, you're killing me here. Yeah, the overall table value is still going up here. We're definitely over 15K now, approaching 20. So guys, I know most of you clicked that little lovely heart there to follow us, but just give you a heads up of what's coming down the pipe. This Wednesday, we have the Veronica and Friends game with Jake and Loncar in the booth. And then following that guy up, let's see what we got for you. We have the final table of that Western Senior Poker Series we were talking about, and that's going to be on Sunday, followed by next Monday. I believe we're going to have Mr. Sean McCormick in the house, and that is going to be the Stones Live Vegas vs. SAC 5-5 No Limit. And that is going to be Sean McCormick and myself in the booth.
Nice.
Oh man, game on. Did you hear that, Poker Boss? Me and you, bro. Doing it.
And Peter Cave here flopping bottom 2 pair, and unfortunately for him, no one else really has anything to go with this. But David O decides to get a little frisky and call with a gutter ball. 5-3 offsuit looking for a 4, improves his hand with a pair of 3s. David bets again. It's like a small bet here.
Mill Fickelson also says, hey, if Max binds 1K, how is everybody up? Well, first off, we have had players who've lost money. We had one player already lose and leave the table, so yeah, it's poker. Plus, we don't start the stream until about a half hour till they get started playing, so we miss about a half hour of the prelim action, which sometimes can also be pretty crazy. And pots at 255. Peter going for a solid value here. Looks like $1.70, and that'll get through. AO.2 says, chiming in, you can't actually wear hats, caps, or a hoodie in the UK, in the casinos out there. Yeah.
I know they're also super strict over there about taking any pictures with your phone inside the casinos.
Yeah. So the poker vloggers would not have a good time over there.
No.
Because, I mean, our vloggers game, we had the guy setting up the little camera with a tripod every time he had a good hand on the table. I'm like, that's not going to work. Not going to work.
David's raising to 20. Ian's just flat calling with the 10s. JP calls with 10-8 offsuit. And 3 ways to the flop. King in the window, ace-5 king.
So David outflops everybody, our original aggressor here, and he is going to exercise his option. Bet and pray that nobody comes along with an ace, and nobody has one, and they won't. Taking it down. Gerard R says Andrew Nemi just posted a vlog from over there and says he mentioned the hat thing, but he had table footage. So, you know, if you're somebody like Nemi, I would imagine you can go in there and just kind of be like, look, like, just here's my poker vlog. Just randomly click through a few videos. Just know that, like, there's no tomfoolery going on. I'm not, like, setting up Ocean's 15 to rob your casino. You know what I mean? Just come on, be cool.
It's good publicity for the casinos.
Yeah. Rect KY, where's Stones? There you go.
Sacramento.
Stucramento. We're right outside Sacramento, California. You got it.
Sacramento.
You got it, bud. You cannot miss us if you're driving down Highway 80. If you have Highway 80 anywhere around you, start driving. Or just get one of those fancy auto Teslas and have it just auto drive you here. Drove one of those the other day for the first time. And
yeah, how was it?
The auto drive thing was really cool, but it was a little offsetting. I'm like, am I really letting go of the steering wheel and like putting my feet down? Like it was weird. It was cool. I liked it. And I'm gonna like it more when they get the full-on like drop you off and park itself thing going on. But right now it just keeps you in the lane and drives.
That's crazy.
So Ka waking up with a hand here with 8s. Andrew does race to 55. Ka makes the call.
So it looks like we're going 5 ways to the flop. King 10 Queen.
All spades, kind of a super wet board that hits almost nobody.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, Harlan and JP here with bottom pair. Andrew, the only person with a spade, and it's the ace. That's great, but yeah, it's pretty much weak.
Oh, wow.
Oh, how does that case 10?
10.
Oh, my God.
Harlan, and most likely we're going to see a chopped pot here unless one of these two players improves with a 4 or a 6 on the river. Harlan and JP both turning trips. Harlan bets 105.
They both hate their kicker, and they both have to bet it because it's such a coordinated board. Any jack, spade, ace peels, they hate life. So
JP trying to decide whether he wants to flat call or raise.
And yeah, what do you do for JP?
You definitely have to flat call.
You flat call there, yeah, no pumping and a raise. Then you get clicked back for a shove, and you're like, I hate life. So obviously we expect to see Ka fold. He has that nice Stones card protector. I got one of those. I like those. All right. Battle of the trips here. Watch, here comes split pot.
4 or 6. 4 or 6!
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God.
Harlan.
The sick part is it was a chop before, and now, of course, if anybody's going to get the I'm just kidding, I'm not chopping river, it's Harlan.
And Harlan's going to probably size up a little bit here. Looks like a bet of 350 into 490.
And this is sick because that 4 really changes nothing.
No,
I mean,
you think it's a blank.
Because you're like, dude, whatever. Trip 10's king queen unless you have 10 jack or 10 ace.
And call from JP, can't blame him, and super sick hand. Harlan scoops it.
This one Harlan says, I got a boat. Oh, no. How do you slow roll him and flash a 4 first? Oh, dang.
Wow.
Oh, it would have actually, it might have been worse if you said, you got a 10, I got a 10.
That's
I got a 4 as well.
I've got a 10.
Oh, man.
I got a 4 as well. Oh, my gosh.
I don't know if Harlan said boat before he flipped that. I didn't hear, but.
Sickness.
Ouch. That's poker, baby. God, what are the odds to chop going to the river? Like 80%? I don't know. I mean, it's got to be a lot of odds. Any card over 7?
Yeah.
Actually, they didn't even. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Each player is
We didn't even need that.
about 7%. So
Well, I was gonna say you didn't even need that because you already had the chop on the board. You just need not a 10 or a 6.
no, yeah, no
Or
6,
I mean,
no
yeah,
4.
I mean not a 4 or a 6.
So about 85% of the time it's going to chop.
Yeah.
86%, wow. Harlan raises to 40. David O looking down at Ace King. Looks like he's grabbing some 3-bet chips. Yep. A real small 3-bet. He's pricing in Harlan to call. I think he made it 80.
And it's okay. So Harlan just flat up. It's funny because last time David O made a really light 3-bet against Harlan. Harlan clicked back with a strong 4-bet. Both players miss here. Queen high flop on David O first, and he's gonna fire. Looks like 100 into 175. And Harlan lets it go. David O's like, hell yeah, just give me a pot. Let me bet it, let me have it, and on to the next one. So Harlan, our resident chip leader, we only say that in a cash game because it makes one of our other commentators, Jake, curl his toes, get upset. There you go, PokerBoss chiming in, tie 86.36% of the time. Funny thing is, I knew if I made a comment like that, I was like, one of our viewers is going to definitely run those numbers.
86.
So again, I feel like Harlan's what? 14%? Only 7% to win, 86% to chop. Harlan 7% himself above a chop. Nice job, Harlan.
That's sick. So it looks like Harlan raised to 20.
And then Orlando pops it to 80. So we're catching up with the action tracker here.
The stacks being this deep and the odds being this good, I expect 2 calls here. 5 ways to the flop more than likely. And here we go. Looks like we're gonna have $400 in the middle.
It's gonna be a juicy pot.
Yeah, there's some dangerous flops here.
Yeah, buddy.
Case king one time. Ace, ace, jack. No one in the hand.
With that kind of action pre-flop and 5 players in the hand, how does nobody have an ace, right? I mean,
how can Orlando imagine he has a pretty much hammerlock on his hand?
Yeah, Orlando's definitely got the next best thing. Oh, right on, 2+2. Thanks, man. Apparently we're on there for Twitch stream fun time. I like it. So it looks like this is checking around pretty quickly over here. JP checks. Everybody checks for Orlando, who was our original big better. And he is definitely hammerlocking. Looks like 160.
Yeah, he's going to take this down.
Oh, 175 is the bet. Sorry. And that's a solid bet. See where you're at. I mean, if unless any one of these players wants to get super brazen, click back with represent an ace and click back. I think most of the players in this scenario, if they had an ace, might just flat. I mean, you're looking at you want the pot right here. You don't want any continuation in this hand at this point.
No. Wow, and David O, excuse me, I was wrong. He's not going to take this down. David O decides to call with a gutter ball. A king will do the trick as well. 5 of hearts on the turn. Orlando's got to hate this spot. David O could easily have an ace here. I think, yep, he goes check, check. River's a 4. And we'll see if David decides to take a stab at this. But nope, he checks, and Orlando gets some nice value out of his king jack and wins the hand.
Two plus two, yeah. I think our Autobot actually caught that because normally we want to prevent spammers from shooting links in there. But very much thank you for the love on 2+2. Very cool. And if you're listening, if you're still in there, I think they just muted you for like 10 seconds. Just shoot it in a PM to Stone's Life Poker, and then we'll be able to put that on there for you. There it is. Keep in mind, guys, all of our streams are archived for X amount of time on Twitch after this. And if you guys want to, if you want to analyze a hand on the forums or something like on 2+2, you can actually go into our stream and you can clip out a specific hand or a segment of a hand you're talking about, I think up to a minute or two, and you can post that on there. So, very cool.
And look at this, Andrew raising under the gun +1 to 35. Creates the domino effect, gets 4 callers, 6 players to the flop. Queen 9-3-2 hearts.
Baby.
Wow.
Monster flop for
David
Andrew.
flops top pair queens. Andrew flops 2 overs and a flush draw. Expect to see these two get into it here.
Oh wow! We had so many players in the pot. I had to look over. I didn't even see David O in there with the queen.
Andrew bets 95.
You should be able to get value from any queen out there, obviously, and that's what he's looking for, and he sure is.
David calling. Harlan calls as well. Oh, with the 9, that's right, okay. 10 on the turn.
Now this actually gives more outs. It gets straight draw outs for Andrew now as well if a jack peels off. And it would actually be sick because if a jack did peel, he'd have a bigger straight than David.
And this will be interesting to see if he decides to bet here. 500 in the middle.
Any jack would be sick. Even if it was a heart, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be the 1-up straight.
And Andrew's trying to decide, if I bet here, how much would I bet? Should I bet? Looks like he's betting strong. Looks like he's betting around 400. Wow, 500. He just bets the pot. 500 into 500. And now David, basically with an all-in or full decision, looks like he's got around, I can't see the green chips in his hand, but I think he's got right around 750 or so.
Solid bet by Andrew here, 500.
Oh,
and
he gets
David
the
is
king
going
queen
to
to fold. Harlan's going to lay it down.
And again, that's what we're talking about. Aggression pays.
Aggression
Technically
pays.
got the better hand to lay it down.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's easy to sit here and watch the hands. When you're sitting there with king queen, and the pre-flop raiser raises pre-flop and fires pot on the turn into 2 players, you have to imagine your king queen is not good right there.
Yeah. Yeah, checking out the 2+2 forums. Thanks a lot, guys. If you do go over there and check it out, it's very cool. They have a whole Twitch subsection over there where you can discuss, chat, talk about streams. I'm sure those get pretty active, actually, over there on the 2+2 forums.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rad. Right on. Thanks, guys. Oh, wow. Is Peter K really not eating a salad for once? Guys, I don't know what's up, man. The world's upside down. Peter K is notorious for a salad every single time. One guy asked, is Ian from Canada? And Jenna Liz chiming in confirming that yes, Ian is from Toronto. So maybe they know him. They're like, I've played with that guy. He stacked me for some money.
And look at this. Harlan flops top pair. Andrew flops a jack high flush draw. And KA flops middle set 7s.
Oh,
And I believe it's been checked.
Stone's Life Poker chimed in. He ate a salad pre-stream. Sorry, it's spoiler alert. Well, thanks for leaving it in there for all of our betters.
And look at this dream spot for KA. He checks his
Oh my
7s with
God.
only 1 player behind. And of course, David just decides to, maybe he little nudge on the table, bet
Yeah.
this for me?
Yeah.
Just joking.
Oh, no, that'd be, oh my God, that's
such
so
a dream
perfect
spot.
where the person directly to your left bets and everybody flats.
Everyone flats, and now you can just pump it here.
So let's see what Kyle's gonna do. This ought to be interesting. So what do you do here? Obviously, you know it's a super draw heavy board, especially if that many
Bet
people
30,
are
call
calling.
30, call 30, call 30. I think I'd make it
200?
I would say 180.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, my first guess was 160, so we're right in that split the diff.
I'd make it about 180 here. You don't want to go too strong. You don't want to push everyone out. You want to get value. You don't want to make it too cheap. About 180 is perfect.
Because you know there's at least one flush draw out there, probably some sort of open-ended weird straight draw. Maybe, if there's 2 pair, I think you would have already seen a rate. 180, look at that, right in the money.
Perfect bet, KA. I like it. Harlan is a non-believer. I mean, how can you be really right there when he checked back, you know, it checks to him with only 1 player behind? I can totally see where Harlan's not believing this just yet. Andrew gets out of the way.
Watch an 8 peel or something.
Oh, wow.
God. Sorry, Harlan.
The 9 on the turn.
Rest in peace, Harlan's chips. But
Harlan's
wow. Lucky enough, though. Harlan's lucky enough. Watch.
He's gonna peel it.
He'll river a friggin' deuce. He'll river a deuce and
The
take
8.
this. You watch.
The
Just
8.
watch. It's gonna be sick.
The 8 on the river.
Oh my God! Wow.
Why
How
does KA check?
Oh wow.
Why does KA check?
I don't know. I would extract fat value there because if Harlan's not calling you with diamonds, he's got a 9, right? I mean, you know he does.
Now Harlan's gonna bet this for value, and KA obviously has to raise here. Looks like a bet of 200.
200. Now let's see what KA does.
Don't tell me KA's gonna call.
There's
Please
no
don't.
way you flat. You can't flat this, dude. You have to go for value here. I mean, he's at least gonna flat.
Okay. I mean, with the fact that Harlan here has a 9 so often, you really got to size up right here.
There it is. There's
Really gotta
500
size up.
on
There we
top.
go. There we go.
550. Oh, all in. Look
Wow,
at that.
he goes the old hand, the flick.
Whatever, all in. And Harlan lets it go.
Wow.
Harlan's no slouch. I mean, come on. How many hands have you actually seen KA play so far?
Yeah.
Especially where, and the way he just bet it too. He's just like, what should I bet? I should bet that.
Harlan's
All
just
of
really
it.
lucky that KA didn't bet the turn and
Yeah.
bet the river, because Harlan would have had to probably check call both times.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right, guys, new dealer coming in. You know what that means? It's bomb pot time. So for those of you who are just tuning in, bomb pot, every time there's a dealer change, these awesome players do a bomb pot. Every player throws in $25, leaving the full table at a 2 1/4. Everybody sees a flop, and they play it out from there. So Pyroshen's saying KA really wants the flush to get there versus his house. However, I think if they're that deep in the pot and they already have a big flush draw type hand, maybe a multi-way draw like a flush and straight draw, you want to extract that value.
You have to bet the turn right
You
there.
really want to extract
You
that
have to bet
value.
that turn card right there.
A Bomblin. Bomb pot by Harlan. Bomblin. Trademarked. Wonder if that still works. All right, here we go. I got this. Bomblin. And then we'll just do this old number. Let's just boom, 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 boom.
How do you do the TM?
Trademark.
How do you do that?
Boom.
How do you do that?
Hold Alt and hit 0153 and let it go.
Hold Alt and type in
0153 on the keypad and let it go, and it puts a little TM in there. Don't ask me why I know this useless
So
crap
sick.
in my life.
I love it.
All right, so look at this. Andrew waking up with queens. Ironically enough,
Wow.
an earlier bomb pot, Andrew had jacks and got stacked by 2 guys making boats with 8-3. To the flop, 10-5 deuce, couple of diamonds.
And unless Peter has a tricky little connected hand here, queens is going to be the best hand. Andrew checks his queens this time. He wants to feel this one out. And here we go. Peter reaching for chips. Maybe Peter does have somehow a flop 2 pair here. We shall see.
Well, Peter's not betting light here, I don't think. He might. He might bet 1 street light. We'll see.
Looks like Andrew's just going to go into check call mode.
Now everybody's going to start throwing random stuff in the chat with ASCII keys. I like it. All right, so, and Andrew just calls.
And we still don't know what Peter has.
Peter's still with the mystery hand.
3 of diamonds on the turn. One of the, Andrew hates this turn card.
Yeah. At least now that's isolated down to heads up. He doesn't hate it quite as much, but still not a fan. Peter has a 10, what price says.
And Peter's sizing up.
Oh, he does have diamonds. 6-9 of diamonds there
Wow.
for Peter.
Andrew's drawing completely dead.
I like it. In the chat, Peter has a 10, Peter has a straight. Actually, Peter has none of those things and totally just binked the flush. But by Peter actually betting that flop and then getting there, anybody else who would have came along and who had any high random 1 diamond right now would look him up for another street. So it's actually probably better that he did at least fire the flop.
Yep.
And isolate down.
And 6 on the river.
Nothing. So if it was another diamond, it could have saved Andrew some money. He could have got away. Pot's sitting just about 7 3/4 now. And Peter's going for some value extraction. Andrew checks. Peter's thinking he's never really going to check a higher flush there, hopefully.
Looks like he's betting just under 300. 250, I think.
It's a solid, it's a solid 3rd pot size value bet, and I think Andrew's picking up on that, and he's letting it go. Solid. Boom. The ever-changing chip stacks, man. Every hand here is just like boom, boom, boom. All right, guys, we've got about 20 minutes left in this stream. Once again, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
We absolutely love it. Click
been
that
a fun
heart.
night.
Click that heart if you haven't yet. Once again, you're watching Stones Live. It's a 5-5 no limit game with a $1,000 max and table stakes after that. I feel so handicapped when like I said, I'm so used to playing table stakes here that I feel so handicapped when you go to somewhere and they're like, sorry, like you said, the 2-5 max buying 500, and you're looking at a guy with $5 grand, and you're like, so I can just throw pebbles at a 10-1 mountain? Like, great, that's really exciting. Like, look, I know you just do this so you can get your rake more. It's like, what if I just promised we'll still give you that same sweet rake?
Right.
Lots of garbage so far in this pot. Oh, there we go. Harlan did make it 80 from the cutoff, and everybody got away. Harlan used his, he used the force, sensed the weakness.
The force is strong with him. Once again, stacks are growing as the night goes on. Just another night at Stones.
Yeah, super standard. I love it, and I think, sometimes people are like, oh, are these guys just coming here for the stream? Do they dress it up or bring more money for the stream? All of these guys, honestly, they're in here every day, all day. It doesn't matter whether it's a smaller tournament, bigger tournament. And that's actually what I like about a lot of these guys, like Harlan. I mean, he's sitting here at the 5-5 game, but he'll up in the 10-25 game. He'll up in the 100-200 limit game. I mean, it's just like, just because the stakes are different, it's just a different type of game, but you're still playing, your A game. Andrew King Ducey is going to come along and complete coming for the live straddle, and so was Orlando. And actually, there we go. Dave Crit, who did do, he was the big blind. He actually popped it up and took it down.
He was the straddle there. He had a run.
Okay. OG Swag Master J in the house. Harlan's one of the luckiest dudes I've ever seen. Yeah, he's one of the luckiest dudes we've all ever seen, actually.
He's ran really good on the stream, to say the least.
It's so, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like he's just some, good, just crap player who gets lucky. I mean, he knows how to exploit it, and the problem is that when Harlan actually wakes up with a big hand, he gets paid every time. Yeah. Because Harlan's range is so open. We call him a rangeless beast.
A rangeless beast.
Absolutely, we should TM that right there, rangeless beast.
That's really good. A rangeless beast.
There's a couple guys we got on the stream, regulars, you got Bill, who plays on the Bill H, who plays on the stream. So just rangeless beast. I mean, he'll call a 2-bet, 3-bet with just random 4-6 suited, and the flop will come open-ended with flush draw, and you're like, how do you have that? I think Kelly Winterhalter said it best one time when we were in the booth and said, funny thing about Harlan is he flips over his hand on the river, and it's the winner, and you just have to play back, how did you get here? How did I let you get here? Who let you get here? Why are you here with 5 deuce on the river, and it's good? And
it's good.
And it's good. That's the key term.
So Harlan bets 5 deuce here, bottom pair. It's actually the best hand. Dave Crit defends with the gutter ball, and his queen and 8 are also good. If he hits, he checks. See if Harlan barrels again here. He checks back. Jack on the river. And Dave now.
So what I've noticed about Dave is when you check behind Dave, he really loves to fire. Yeah. If you ever check to Dave, he seems like he wants to fire.
And this is a great spot to bluff.
Speaking of getting there with 5 deuce, he didn't have to get there. Let's see if he can actually make the call, though. Might be a little rough given this board texture. It's not a good run out at all. He's going to let it go. Harlan, our resident big stack. God, if we just go back to the streams Harlan's played on and just add up, I mean, he's got to come out positive. I mean, 90% of these streams. He runs like gold on the stream, man.
Yeah, he does.
And he's really good at exploiting max value when he does run good.
Yep. Living the dream.
Dangerous combo. Like we saw earlier, I mean, Harlan will single, double, triple air barrel you all the way down if he thinks he can get away with it. It is 5-5 BM Troll.
Yeah, and Dave Crit has really done it. He really does a good job of using his tight table image. He selectively bluffs in really good spots.
Yeah.
He's played a solid game tonight.
I mean, it's funny because we obviously see all of the hands that these guys have and that they're folding, and some players fold, you know, tighter hands or a bigger range than other players. But, you know, if you're just sitting there, given all cards aside, you can see certain players like Ian and certain other players who play relatively snug. Like, players seem to be picking up on that and giving them credit when they're coming in there and they're either large opening or they're 3-betting. They're getting credit for it, and if you know how to exploit those spots, then game on. So it says Harlan is down 1.2K. I think our cash win stats guys are a little bit skewed at this point because Harlan rebought. They're just skewed for a variety of reasons. So don't think that Harlan's down 1.2K. I mean, he might be, but I doubt it. So speaking of which, Ian here raises to 40 with 5s. Harlan comes along with Queen Jack, as does Andrew, and that's it. All right. Oh, and Ka with 6s. I feel like we always double up on pairs. Let's not give one pair. Let's give 2 pairs. And David O's going to come along too, right on. 5 players to the flop. All right, 7 deuce 7 out there.
Andrew just flops trips.
And this isn't even the worst fluff. I'm sure Ka and Ian don't hate life here with their hands. So let's see how this plays out. Ian, being our original aggressor, is definitely going to take... I mean, you never check here if you're Ian and then a paint card peels off and you think, oh, I should have bet. So he's definitely going to fire here. I think that's... With Harlan, with all the players and stuff behind him, but, you know, Harlan's going to get out of there, I would imagine. Heads up, Harlan might float him once to try and outplay him. Let's see what Andrew does here with trips.
Doesn't take too long, makes the call.
Now, if you're behind with one of these pocket pairs, like Ka's situation, let's see what he does. And Ka is going to make the call as well. So 135 bet, called by 2 players. David O gets out of the way, so 3-handed to the turn here.
6 or a 5 would just be insane.
Oh, it'd be the worst. For some, yeah. And David O's thinking, damn, and no, you save money still, I promise. So pocket 6 is here. Call first to act. He checks. Over to Ian. Ian's got to be setting off some whistles here. He had 2 players call behind him. He's going to check as well. Now Andrew would trip 7s. Still a pretty dry board. Yeah, I like this check by Andrew here. He does check as well. Deuce on the river. Now this could be interesting because pocket pairs aside, this would be a split board.
Andrew checked back, huh?
So yeah, so Andrew did check back on the turn. Yeah, Kyle checks, Ian checks. Now this is where Andrew hopefully can get a little bit of value here maybe if you don't believe him.
Yeah, you gotta go light.
The problem is, the funny thing is, if Ka does make the call, Ian goes away. If Ka folds, Ian might call. He's going to let it go.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy fold.
You know, sometimes you see those scenarios where like, oh, if you called, so I'm not going to, or but if you folded, I was going to make the call. You know, it's one of those things, right?
Why couldn't you have called so I could fold it?
So I could fold, please. Somebody look him up. Harlan and Andrew now neck and neck for the big dog at the table, both around 4,400.
All right, 5 players to the flop. Queen 5-8, all spades. Nobody raised. Dave crit with the best hand right now with top pair. King on the turn. David now turns it. He's betting out, looks like about 45. Yeah, he's going to take it down.
So David O, our resident short stack at the table, sitting right around 750. Harlan and Andrew both tied at the top for about 4,400. The bomb pots have been exciting tonight.
Yeah, they have. They really have. Every single one was a really good pot.
I really like it. All four of the, well, I'm going to call them the newcomers to the stream. They're the first time I've seen them here. Seats 1 through 3, and then seat 6 over there, or seat 7, I think now. Just definitely rock solid, man. Mixing it up, having some fun.
Yep.
I do not think this will be the last time we'll see them on the stream, for sure.
No, definitely not.
Once they find out they're not on TV anymore,
Queen 6-6 on the flop. Whiff City for everybody. Three's still barely ahead. Getting a little stronger. BM Troll, as far as best casinos go, you want to check out the Rio. For me, I mean, the Rio is really only during like the series, right? I mean, if I'm going to go play cash, I don't think I'm just going to go hop right in the Rio.
And look at this. David bets into 4 players with ace high, and Ian with X-ray vision calls with his pair of threes.
X-ray vision, indeed. This could have completed possible running clubs, but not much else. Let's see if David wants to try to pull the trigger again. Pot's just over 300. He checks. I think. What do you think Ian's going to check here? Or you think he's going to actually go for the? It's funny because Ian has the best hand, but you think he's going to go?
Turning his hand to a bluff.
I'm turning my hand into a bluff when I'm actually not bluffing. Classic. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so he was intending to.
The funny thing is, he can't.
That's funny.
The thing is, I was like, it's like check for showdown value. No, I'll turn my hand to a bluff. I was like, but actually, you're way ahead. So, guys, we got about, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes left with you here. Thanks for hanging out. Always good times.
Yeah, it's been a fun night.
When you click that heart at the top, make sure you do click that get notifications button, because this Sunday we do have that the WSPS coming up, the Western Senior Poker Series, and we go live whenever they hit the final table, so we never know when that's going to be. So at least you'll get a little blast out to your device. Oh my God! Really, right here? Right here. This is 1-3. Oh my God! I actually just got one of our floor guys come over and flash a little Stones Deep thing on the screen. There's a 1-3 game sitting here where everybody's got 1,500 and 2K in front of them. Like, that's what I'm talking about. We're not making this up. We're not making this up. And this is a game I've seen happen on the fairly regular here when we have 2 5 players get up and look at the game and they leave the 2 5 game to come to 1-3.
Yep.
And again, even there's max stack matching in our 1-3 game as well. So you could go over and sit in this 1-3 game and buy in for 1,500 at 2K. I mean, is that what heaven's like? Is that? All right, so to the flop, Jack 5-3, couple of clubs here. Both players. David did bank his 3.
And Peter's coming out with a strong bet. 80 into 100.
You know, ironically enough, you know, it's funny. Somebody says, oh, I can see why, you know, David's down some money. And I just talked about how David actually final table one of our big tournaments and actually went pretty deep and made a solid cash payout. David is one of those guys where I think his style almost suits him a little bit better for tournaments where people are a little more snug.
Yeah. Because
he's a little more open and loosey-goosey in his betting patterns, the majority of the time, tournament-wise, it just gets players to go away because they don't want to be involved. It's like, I don't know if he called. Did he call or did he come in for a raise? I think he might have came in for a raise. He's going to put his cards in the rear now. 7-8 suited. I don't know if he did call. David's raising. David raises to 30. Ian going to exploit that lovely button position power. He's going to come along. Oh, no. He's really going to exploit it. Going up, baby. Get it. $1.25 it is.
Oh, wow. Perfect spot for JP.
So great. Waking up with a big hand and the big blind when you have all that action behind you, you're like, yes, please.
And he just flats.
Now, he's relatively deep stacked. Is he just flatting because he's worried if he 3-bets and somebody gets crazy and 4-bet chips or something that he just won't be able to call? So he's just going to play it really conservatively here. He's facing a raise and a re-raise, so he's just going to flat queens. Do you get more aggressive with queens in that position or not?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean,
yeah. And then
even with
you basically tell me, prove it. You have kings or aces, you have 4-bet chip on me, right?
I mean, he's definitely thinking about Ian's table image. I mean, Ian's had a pretty snug table image. Oh wow, this is gonna be an interesting hand now to see.
So JP quick checks over to Ian.
If Ian bets this,
look at Ian's stare down. You can see him right above the pre-flop action there. The stare down. So pot's at 305. This is definitely going to be a C bet from Ian, and depending on price-wise, JP might come along. It's about 220, 215, something like that. 240, 215.
This might do the trick. Can't really imagine JP wanting to stand there. I mean, he flat called for a reason. Ian's had a nice, tight, solid table image.
When you have to ask yourself, is Ian 3-betting with an ace?
Yeah, he's definitely 3-betting.
Absolutely,
lots of aces.
absolutely. And JP in his head, honestly, is kind of thinking he got away cheap there.
Yep.
Right. Little did he know he was absolutely crushing life against Ian right there.
Power of aggression.
You're like, oh man, I even feel better about it if Ian just had 2 randoms, but he even has a tie card where his highest card is a tie card where I have him crushed. Just bumping to like Blondie on the radio here. Call me!
Perfect poker song, right? Call me!
All right, cool. I can't even skip out on a bill in the booth. I just get handed to me. All right, so David here with ace-10.
This might be the last hand of the night.
Orlando with ace-jack. David's been... I'm actually kind of surprised to not see oh, wait, maybe it is. No, I was kind of surprised to not see a 3-bet actually there, but he's under the gun straddle. That's fine against David. All right, 4-5-8. No surprise there with everybody's hand range. So, whiff city.
Looks like a $100 bet from David and should do it.
Let's that's what I like too. I mean, I know we're talking just a little bit here back and forth, but a lot of times our chat will definitely get involved in going back and forth, and this is what makes poker so great.
Opinions on hands?
We'll all watch the exact same hand, and somebody will be like, oh my god, he played it perfect, and the other guy's just like, he played it like garbage, he's the worst player I've ever seen, and I'm just like, wee, poker.
Yeah, I think you definitely got a 4-bet queens there pre-flop. I can see what he's thinking, though.
Chris Moneymakerson, always in the chat, offering to, I believe, finance fun bets and Winstones hoodies, because these are like the coveted hoodies, man. Everybody wants these things. Guys, little side pro tip, don't tell Poker Pro Eric the question. He will just chat forever. All right, so David O here is going to raise to 45 with ace-4. And KA, this is like probably the loosest call I've actually seen KA make so far. But then again, I guess David O, I mean, he's been in a lot of hands, so 6-6-10 on the flop. Whiff City for both players. David still in the lead. 75 and a quick fold from KA. Boom shakalaka. That'll wrap it up. Dude, solid game.
Yes.
Let's hear it for bomb pots, guys.
Yes.
Those bomb pots are off the hook here. So I know you guys all clicked that heart, just in case you didn't click it now, because this Wednesday is going to be our next show, and that is going to be Veronica and Friends. It's a 1-3 game, but it's like one of the juiciest 1-3 games you've seen. It's also Wine Wednesday, so they literally barrel like bottles of wine per player. And you're going to have, again, the one and only Mr. Loncar in the booth, along with the second best beard in the world next to Porter's, the Jake. So make sure you guys tune in. We'll be here Wednesday, then again the following Sunday, and then Monday, 1 week from today, you're going to have me and the Poker Boss, Sean McCormick, slinging it up in the booth as well. What can I say? Good game, good times, good crowd.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
See you guys later.
Have a good night.